Oh boy, here we go. Lord Jesus, it's about this time. Here we go. Come on in. I'm gonna give everybody a chance. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Right on. Yep. 6 o'clock, 6:07 p.m. December 23rd, 2024. Here we go. Here we go. What it do? What the business is? Word on the street. Jeez, you know what the handle is. I'm trying to tell you, man. I know y'all get ready for this one. Get ready for this one. Get your popcorn ready, because here we go. I ain't even gonna play with them. It's about to be on one. Here we go. And then my Joker's voice, the Dark Knight voice. And my Joker Batman voice, the Dark Knight universe. And here we go. Trying to tell y'all, man. I ain't even gonna play. It's about to be a crazy one. Might have to open up the locker room for this one. But let me get mine off. Let me get mine off. Let me get off on Todd Bowles. But before I get off on Todd Bowles, y'all see my hashtag, right? This ain't even about the Bucs offense anymore. At some point, and I told y'all this. I told y'all about Todd Bowles. Did I tell y'all? Y'all don't want to listen to me. How many times do I have to keep explaining myself? How many times will I gotta keep telling y'all about Todd Bowles? Todd Bowles is the Bucs head coach. Is 25-24 as the Bucs head coach currently, as of right now. 25-24 as the Bucs head coach. See, this is what I try to explain to some of the Bucs fans that get up in arms about my predictions. See, my predictions is my predictions based on the reality of the team, not about one player. I've never been about one player when it comes to a team point of view. When I look at the Bucs, I do not look at them based on one player. Some of you do that. Dating back to pre-Brady, you like to look at one player. Even to this point right here, there is people out here on social media talking about the Bucs, trying to blame Baker Mayfield, trying to blame just Todd Bowles. No, it's a team effort. Did y'all see the first half of the game? As a matter of fact, as I talk to y'all, I'm going to turn the game on right now. As I talk to you guys and gals, Bucs family, I'm going to watch this game as I have this conversation with you. We're going to have a therapy session. This is a therapy session, folks. Coping mechanisms. Did y'all see the first half? I mean, makes no sense at all. Mike Evans with 0 targets. How does this? What does this make any? Todd Bowles defense giving up big plays. Cooper Rush. How come every time we play a quarterback, an unknown quarterback, looks like this? I mean, Mitch Trubisky, Bryce Young. Like, how many times We got to keep making these quarterbacks look like they really like that, and they're really not. Cooper Rush, what are we doing here? What is going on here? Mike Evans had 0 catches. Bucky Irvin not in the game in the last 2 minutes. Your best running back. Cooper Rush's stats, thrown between the numbers, he was an all-pro. 90%, I think it was like 90% completion percentage throwing the ball between the hashes. The Bucs have a lot of issues. The Bucs got beat up in the trenches. The Bucs are 0-4 in primetime games this season. You want to know why? The main reason? Todd Bowles, time management. His defense is not good. That's right. My bad. Yeah, Bucky. No, I'm sorry. I got the numbers wrong. Bucky Irvin did 9 minutes. The last 9 minutes, no Bucky Irvin. How is that even possible? No touches in 9 minutes. Didn't even get no time. Nothing. 9 minutes. Liam Cohen, what are you doing? And then to hear the excuses on why Bucky Irvin wasn't in the game. Oh, well, it's the flow of the game. Oh, Rashad White, and pass blocking, blah, blah. What kind of excuse is that? Cooper Rush, 292 yards. What are we doing? Cooper Rush, man. And we supposed to look at this team. Oh, well, this team beat the Commanders and the Lions and the Eagles. Like I said before, if we was to play those teams right now, we will lose. We will lose. Those teams are much better now than when we played them. We're not beating the Commanders. We're not beating the Eagles, and we're not beating the Lions as of right now. That is irrefutable facts. The way the Bucs are playing, they're beating up on bad teams. But we're not ready. And the number one reason why we're not ready is Todd Bowles and his system is outdated. And then the players in the system can't even play up to his maximum potential. The media jumped on the bandwagon, picked the Bucs. Everybody picked the Bucs. Everybody had the Bucs picked. And what happened? The Bucs were smelling their own coffee. The Bucs were smelling themselves because they beat up on the Giants, Panthers, Raiders, and had a good win against the Chargers. And then they start smelling themselves. This is what I always try to tell y'all. Be careful. Do not get caught up in the media. Baker Mayfield MVP. He had some mistakes last night. He played a pretty good game, but he had some mistakes. He took some sacks, threw some interception, a couple drop interceptions. The numbers might look good, but I'm just saying, there were some moments where he was trying to be Mr. Hero, thought he was. I don't know why Baker Mayfield think he's Lamar Jackson. Why do he think he could just scramble all over the place? Think he could just get out of all the sacks? Baker, you are who you are. Quit trying to be this scrambling Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Jalen Daniels type quarterback. Every time he gets pressure, he wants to become this magician in the pocket. Just throw the ball away sometimes. Don't take the sack. Come on, Baker. You having a really good season. In some moments, you just think you more than what you really are. Couple drop interceptions. He got picked. Jalen McMillan didn't fight for the ball. He's been playing well, but he didn't fight for the ball. The Cowboys secondary was very physical. Basically, the Cowboys wanted the game more than the Bucs. They out-physicaled the Bucs. The Cowboys secondary was lighting it up. They were tearing the Bucs up, tearing them up, making them drop balls, and all they were doing was tearing the Bucs up. And what did I tell y'all about the Cowboys D-line? For whatever reason, it's a bad matchup for the Bucs. It's a bad matchup. I told y'all this. The Cowboys D-line always beat up on the Bucs O-line all night long. The Bucs O-line had tons of problems blocking that scheme. Mike Zimmer had them boys ready. In the trenches is where the Bucs lost the game. When you go back and look at that game, go look at both sides of the ball on both teams and tell me who played better, who wanted it more. The Cowboys D-line and their scheme, that double A gap blitz was giving the Bucs fits. And you're right, it could have been much worse if the Cowboys played with a little bit more discipline. They got a little lazy. But yeah, the score was 26-24. But when you watch that game, just go back and watch the game, folks. Don't let the score fool you. The Cowboys dominated that game. Yeah, we had a chance to win the game. Rashad White with the fumble, but it shouldn't have came down to that. Oh, Sal, you were there, so you saw it live and in person. So you know what I'm talking about. When I watched that game yesterday and I'm looking at the Bucs O-line against the Cowboys D-line, I'm like, the Bucs have no chance. As the game progressed, I'm sitting there like, can they even block these guys consistently? You can't. See, the problem is you can't just block when you want to block. You have to block like that the entire game. Just watch the game. Go back and rewatch that game, folks, and tell me who was more physical, who was laying the wood, who was getting after the quarterback. Then on the flip side, you watch the Cowboys O-line versus the Bucs D-line. What is going on with our pass rush? Well, you know what? I shouldn't even be asking that question. I shouldn't even be asking that question. Cowboys O-line. I mean, were they all pros or something? I mean, like, what's going on here? Vita, Kalijah Clancy, and Yaya Diaby had a half a sack. They combined for a sack, so they got a half a sack apiece. But where's the consistency? Vita comes in and he'll make a play here and there, but he's inconsistent. Mike McCarthy outcoached Todd Bowles. What did I tell you about Todd Bowles? He's not a tier 1. He's not a tier 2 coach. And you'll be almost, he's not even an upper tier 3 coach. He's a middle of the pack, middle of the tier 3 coach. We have a feeling with him. The Bucs D-line looks small. Outside of Vita, they small, man. The Cowboys, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. When you go back and watch that game, look, well, of course we should have beat the Cowboys. But the Cowboys, injuries, we got injuries too, but I just thought we had the better team. But see, sometimes having a better team does not equate to victories. Getting out coached by Mike McCarthy and Mike Zimmer is a head scratcher. Yeah, we got injuries. So does the Cowboys too. Everybody got injuries. So we can't keep using that as an excuse. Because if we beat a team that is injured, nobody says nothing. It's the Bucs got the dub. So what? But if we get beat, it's always where the Bucs were injured. No Chris Godwin, no Cade Otton, no Winfield Jr. But there's other teams that are winning with injuries. We can't have it both ways, Bucs fans. You see my hashtag. Because if you're complaining about the players, then whose job is it to coach the players up? And whose job is to draft the players? We can't just keep pointing the finger at one person. You can't keep just pointing the finger at Todd Bowles or Logan Hall or Joe Triasto or Anthony Nelson or Vito, whatever. You just can't keep pointing the finger at one person. The overall responsible person for drafting guys is Jason Light. He's responsible for this defense. Todd Bowles is responsible for the coaching. All the money went over to the offensive side, which is fine. But straight up neglecting the defense, thinking that not having a good pass rusher, a veteran pass rusher, come on this team and to help this team get to the quarterback, that was an asinine move by Jason Light. Asinine. As much as good as he's done some good things in the last few years. I'm not even talking about pre-Brady, because he was terrible then. He was terrible pre-Brady. He was on his way getting fired until he got Tom Brady here. But since Tom Brady got here, he's made some good moves. He's also made some head-scratching moves too. But we cannot overlook the lack of defense of attention that Jason Light has not given his team. Whether it's signing veteran free agents or drafting the right guys. Triasto, Logan Hall, Braswell. We're not getting anything. We're not getting anything from those guys. Zero. And Braswell gets a pass because he's a rookie, but still, he was a project. McKinley Jackson would have been good. I'm just saying, there's a couple D linemen on pass that we probably could have got. But the neglect of that defense is showing, folks. We got nothing outside of Levante David. We outside of Levante David, who's clearly declined. We got nothing at linebacker, folks. The cornerbacks. McCullough, he's good, but he has his moments. And Jamel Dean, I don't know. We are very small on the back end. We have a small defense, folks. We have small defense. We got small defense. We don't have a big defense. We don't have an aggressive defense. It looks aggressive against weaker teams. When Todd Bowles is in his bag dialing it up, don't get me wrong. When he's in his zone, he's in his zone. But what happens when you don't get to the quarterback? And time again, we see this week in and week out. And folks, let me be the first to tell you, what's up, Big Buck? The Bucs are lucky to be 8-7. The Bucs, let me repeat this one more time. The Bucs are lucky to be 8-7. And the reason why we're 8-7 is mostly because of the offense. The Bucs are so lucky. And to be truthfully told, it's not being talked about, but low key, the Bucs have overachieved. Like low key, real talk, all BS to the side. The Bucs overachieved this year. They did. Like whatever happens these next two games, the Bucs have overachieved. Because I'm sitting here watching this team like, how are we 8-7? How in the French toast we're 8-7 with that defense? The Bucs low-key have overachieved up until this point. Because think about this, folks. When you look at the Bucs are basically an uneven team. They're so one-sided, it's not even close. The Bucs are so uneven. They so heavily offensive driven. And you can't be that against the really good teams. You can't just be one-sided. You cannot do that. And I look, we got 3 good wins. 3 good wins. Eagles, Commanders, and Lions. All at the beginning of the season. Remember, the beginning of the season does not define a team. I told y'all this. Everybody got their hopes up. And I told y'all to wait. Beating teams early is not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And the Bucs are going to finish well, but just in general, just from a football perspective, the Bucs are not a bad team. They're not. They're just an uneven team, and they are an overachieving, try-hard team. The Bucs are 4-1. Let me see. The Giants, Raiders, no, 3-1 the last 4 games. The season's not over with, but it's out of our hands now. Now we got to rely on other teams to do the work. All we had to do is just win out. Just win out. That's all we had to do. Just win out, go 11-6, win the division. Now we got to depend on multiple scenarios to get in the playoffs. We lost to a Cowboys team with no Trayvon Diggs, no Dak Prescott. The Cowboys couldn't even run the ball. Let me repeat, Rico Dowdle is terrible at running back. The Cowboys couldn't even run the ball. The Cowboys were one-dimensional, and they still beat us. The Bucs have serious problems at linebacker, even with Lavonte David. Lavonte David will give you some plays here and there. He'll make some tackles here and there. But let's keep it 1,000 wow. Outside of the boy, if we didn't have Lavonte David, boy, we will be even worse. This is what happens when you don't have a legit pass rush. I'm watching the Cowboys get there with 4. I'm watching the Redskins or the Commanders get there with 4. The Eagles. All these teams are getting after the quarterback with 4 guys, maybe 5. But when I watch the Bucs, for some strange reason, we can't get to the quarterback. Cooper Rush. I think the Cowboys have multiple injuries. What? They was missing Zach Martin not playing, right? Zach Martin wasn't playing, Dak wasn't playing, Trayvon Diggs wasn't playing, CeeDee Lamb got hurt. How the heck did we lose that game? The Bucs blitz package, Todd Bowles blitz package is so generic, and it's the same thing, the same guy every single time. Levante David lines up behind Vita. Vita rushes in, slaps the guy out the way, the guard the center, and here comes Levante David. It's the same blitz every time. Cooper Rush just got paid, folks. Somebody gonna sign Cooper Rush. 0-4 in prime time, folks, this year. The Bucs had opportunities to win this game. And then let's talk about the field goal the Cowboys got before halftime. The time management. What are you doing, Todd Bowles? Like, oh my gosh. What is going on with Todd Bowles and these timeouts, man? His time management, his in-game time management is so in question. Exactly. 2 58-yard field goals. Brandon Aubrey. Sal in all caps. He said, we got to go all defense in the draft. I hope he does. I don't want to see no offensive guy get drafted. And I hate to say it like this. I know we might need another guard, but we can find a left guard and plug and play somebody. Because I was thinking like the Bucs probably need to draft one more O lineman. But enough of that. No more receivers, no more O linemen, no more tight ends, no more running backs. More defense. I mean, we got 7 picks. Maybe we might make a couple trades, whatever. But I don't want to hear nothing about no O-line, no quarterback, no running back, no receiver. I don't want to hear nothing about that. I want to talk about straight D linemen, linebackers, and cornerbacks. I mean, I'm talking about maybe round 1 and round 2 is D-line and D-line, just like the Rams did. Just like the Rams did. The Rams with D-line, D-line. Jared Versey and Braden Frisk. Now look how that turned out. I don't want to hear nothing about no guard. No tight end. Oh, another running back. Another receiver. I don't want to hear nothing. D-line, D-line. We'll figure out the secondary, but get that D-line situated. I know the Bucs drafted Kalaji Clancy, and they drafted Braswell and Joe Tryon and Logan Hall. I don't care. Keep drafting D-line until somebody sticks. You can't go wrong with another couple more pass rushers, or first round, third round D-line. You got to get some damn D-linemen. First and third round, first and second round, second round, or first and third. 2 D linemen in this draft. Gotta have them. And the cornerback, we gotta get one in the first 3 rounds. So in these first 3 rounds, and I know I'm going up a little topic a little bit, but just looking at the team structure defensively, these first 3 rounds need to be 2 defensive linemen and a cornerback or a linebacker. But you can't go into the next season with that pass rush. Anthony Nelson, you're gonna bring him back for what? Greg Gaines? What is that? We're not going anywhere with those guys. Braswell and Logan Hall and Tryon Sneak. Tryon Sneak is gone. He's out of here. You want to talk about an overdraft? As much as good we talk about Jason Light with the Tristan Wars, the Winfield Jr., and the Bucky Irvin, we ain't talking about a Logan Hall and Joe Tryon. Awful picks. I know people are like, oh, this is not Chris Godwin. Look, All right, man. You keep putting that money into the offense and neglecting that defense, boy. That's terrible. That's asinine. The Bucs are gonna have some money. They're gonna have some picks. They can do some damage in helping that team get better on defensively. Another safety to pair with Winfield Jr., linebacker to rotate Levante Davis' spot whenever he decides to go. I know Chris Godwin and everything like that, but man, if you turn around and get that man $25, $26 million and you neglect that defense, you're going to end up in the same predicament you was in this year to next year. Did y'all see that game? Did y'all see this? 2 58-yard field goals. Todd Bowles in that freaking timeout situation. If the Bucs had a better pass defense, man, the Bucs would be like 11-4 right now. The timeout said, I do not like Todd Bowles and his timeout thought process. Calling timeout allowed the Cowboys to go down there and Brandon Aubrey kick a 58-yard field goal. It's the things like that. Sometimes it's not about the totality of the game, it's about moments in the game. Amy Rose, the Hedgehog 14. What's up, baby girl? It's moments in the game that will decide an outcome. It's never, people always look at, oh, the whole game. Yes, that's fine. But when you start breaking the game down, there's key moments in the game. As I watch this game again, the condensed version of it, there's key moments of the game that will decide an outcome. Hell, the Commanders had 5 turnovers. 5. 5 turnovers and still beat the #1 defense in the NFL. It was about the moments in the game. Look, the Eagles should have won that game. Devontae Smith dropped that third down pass. He dropped it. Jalen Daniels threw an awful pick. Eagles should have closed that game out. But there's moments in every game, close games, that will decide the fate of the game. And there's multiple moments in this game that last night that cost the Bucs the game. The timeout situation, that 58-yard field goal. If they don't get that field goal, we get the victory 24-23. There's moments in the game the Bucs just could not win. I'm going to repeat. The Commanders had 5 turnovers. And they still won the game. There was a game that Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions, and they still won the game. Bo Nix threw 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Guess what? They still won the game. Jalen Hurts threw the ball for 110 yards, and they still won the game. Sterling Shepard is the best of the worst. I am so sick of him because every time he makes a catch, he wants to get up and beats his chest and think he really like that. He not really like that. We already know what Sterling Shepard is. He's the best of the worst. He needs to get out of here. I'll be so glad when they get rid of him. He's taking snaps from the young guys. I'm so fed up with Sterling Shepard. His penalties, his drop balls, his poor route running. Like, come on, bruh. Oh, because you played with Baker Mayfield at Oklahoma, that's why you on the team. Every time he gets a reception, he wants to jump up and beat his chest like he really like that. I don't want to see Sterling Shepard no more. Sick of that nacho tortilla chip. He's like the slippers in the closet that you be like, you walk in the closet. He them pair of shoes that you go in the closet and you be like, what do I feel like wearing today? And you don't feel like wearing your good stuff. You be like, I'll just go with these, Dan. I'll just go with these. That drop on fourth down summed up Sterling Shepard's entire existence on the Bucs. We are fighting for a playoff spot, a division championship on fourth and I think 3 or 4th and 5. The ball hit you right in your chest. A perfect play call by Liam Cohen. Shout out to Liam Cohen, future head coach. I don't care what y'all say. It hits you in the chest, and you drop the ball. But every time he makes a catch, though, he think he really like that. And I'll be sitting there looking at him like, do he realize he's the best of the worst? Exactly. I'll just wear these then. I'll just wear these. He them shoes in the closet. You go to the closet and you about to take the trash out. You be like, I'm not wearing no good shoes. I'll just go with these then. Them random pair of shoes that you don't even wear. The beat up pair of shoes. That's what Sterling Shepard is out of the receiving corps. And why is he still getting all these snaps? Oh, so he had a pull hamstring. So his season is done, basically. So Sterling Shepard's season is done. Now we got pinned on the Falcons and the Commanders to lose. But the good thing about it is they play each other next. Now, both of those teams are ahead of the Bucs right now. The Commanders have 10 wins. If we tie with the Commanders at 10-7, we get in because we got the tiebreaker. So really, technically, all the Commanders got to do is just win one more game and they're in. All the Commanders got to do is win one more game. So they don't even need to beat the Falcons. They don't need to beat the Falcons. They can literally be like, look, they can look at the situation and be like, depending on what's going on in that game next week, if they're losing bad or something's going on, and they can concede that game and wait till the following week to win the last game. All the Commanders got to do is win one more game, and they're in because that'll be 11 wins. The Bucs are at a point where they can't even afford any slip up. 9 wins will not get you in the playoffs. If the Commanders win 11 games, they're in. If they win 1 out of the last 2 games, they are in the playoffs. Let me repeat. If they go 11-6, they are in. Eleven and 6 will get you in the playoffs. I'm just saying, man. We put it in. It's out of our hands, folks. It's out of the Bucs' hands, and it's nothing. We can't even look. Now we're gonna have to spend. Now we're gonna have to critique the Falcons and pray for them to lose. Now we gotta hope the Falcons lose. Can't even really worry about them because the Bucs got to win their last two. This is what happened when you don't take care of business. Now we gotta sit here. Oh, we hope the Falcons lose. Even if the Falcons lose and they 8-8, we still gotta win our last two games. You ever thought about that part, folks? We can't tie with the Falcons in Atlanta play the last game of the season. Guess who we got at the last game of the season? The freaking Saints. The freaking Saints. Boy, can you imagine a 9-0 game? Exactly. The Carolina Kitty Cats have been playing really good ball. Really good ball. And I don't like to use this word, but they should have beat the Bucs. They were going to beat the Bucs, folks. They were going to beat us. That was what's so crazy? I know we beat the Lions, we beat the Commanders, and we beat the Eagles. But to be honest with you, beating the Panthers that game was the biggest win of the season. Winning that game was the biggest win of the season, beating the Panthers. Because if the Bucs would have lost that game on a field goal to Eddie Pinheiro, the Bucs will be currently 7-8 right now, and the Falcons will be 8-7. And all the Falcons had to do is win one more game. Anthony Nelson, kept us alive. The Bucs got to win their last two games. We can't worry about the Falcons. Just win the last two games. And it ain't going to be easy, folks. Both of those teams ain't going to lay down. Oh, you don't think the Panthers and the Saints want to beat us? Oh, you can tell. You can see this coming. Now, this division is literally coming down to the last week of the season. If we lose any one of these games, we're not getting in. The Panthers and the Saints, Dave Canales going to stick it to us. He like, I should have had y'all the first time. You don't think the Panthers going to be hungry? I'm not going to be omnipotent, but I don't predict the future. I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly what's going to happen because I'm not a god. I'm not a football god, but you don't think the Saints and the Panthers will want to beat the Bucs? Dave Canales sitting there looking like we should have had y'all the first time. And they played the Bucs very well. They actually outplayed the Bucs. They did. They just had that fumble. And that fumble, they were driving the ball. That was a good run by you, but it was like a 5-yard run. See, at the end of the day, the NFC South is not the worst division in the NFL. It's not. It's the AFC South. I think it's the AFC South. Man, I was watching the Panthers game, and I'm like, the Panthers don't even look the same. The Panthers don't even look the same. And you know the Saints always kind of play the Bucs funny. Like last year we beat them, and then last year they beat us 9-0 at home. Man, this is the scenario that I did not want to see. Yeah, the AFC South is the worst division in the NFL. I think so. Jags, Titans, two terrible teams. The Panthers are better than the Jags and the Titans. The Saints are better than the Jags and the Titans. And you know what happens when you play games that the other team has nothing to lose? They play even more crazier. We can't lose one game. Can't. If you lose any one of these two games, if you go 1-1, that's 9-8. All the Falcons got to do is win one game, and the pressure's on the Bucs to win. If the Falcons lose this game, and the Bucs win the next game, the Bucs will be 9-7. The Falcons will be 8-8. Last game of the season, the Bucs play the Saints. The Falcons play the Panthers. That's your division right there. Think about that. The Bucs will be 9-7 going into week 17. The Falcons 8-8. Playing the Panthers. And here we go. What a day to be a Bucs fan. Dangerous lot. Dangerous. Dangerous. You know what's so funny? The last two games for the Bucs is at home. At home, folks. The Bucs' last two games are at home, folks. The NFL gods trying to get us to the playoffs. The NFL gods want the Bucs in the playoffs. The last two games are at home, folks. You can't ask for nothing better than that. The football gods want us to be in the playoffs. The Bucs got to seize the opportunity. I'm not rooting for nothing. I just want the Bucs to win. I just want the Bucs to win. Nothing else matters. I just want the Bucs to finish 10-7, and we take it from there. Because I can make up all the scenarios, but the best scenario for the Bucs is to win the last 2 games. I can give y'all 4 or 5 scenarios right now, but the best scenario is just win the last 2 games. Just that simple. And then let the math decide. If we tie with the Falcons and they 10-7, we 10-7, so be it. So be it. Then we should have beat the Falcons. Shouldn't have got swept. I'd rather go down fighting like that than to squeak into the playoffs at 9-8 and the Falcons are 8-9. Just win your last 2 games. And the Bucs can do that. They can absolutely do that. They got 2 home games. Can't ask for nothing better than that. What up, man? You can't ask for nothing better than that. The script is there for the Bucs. It's literally there. 2 home games. Thank God the Bucs don't got to go on the road. I'm so glad the Bucs ain't got to go on the road. Thank God. What's our home record? Anybody know our home record? Those fumbles were, man. Those fumbles was bad. Rashad White fumble. Oh, man. That was crazy. No matter what, we cannot tie with the Falcons. 8-9, 9-8, or 10-7. We cannot tie with them. Can't do that. What is our home record? So the Bucs are 500 at home. So that's not a gimme. So playing those teams at home ain't a gimme. Because now you don't know what Bucs team you're gonna get. And here's the thing: can the Bucs bounce back? Could the Bucs bounce back is the question. So the Bucs got 4 home losses. 1 game under 500 at home. That's not good, folks. So even having home field advantage these last 2 games is not a guaranteed victory. And you got to think the last game of the season. I wonder what's the status of Derek Carr. Is he going to come back? Because they ain't got nothing to play for. Is they going to let Spencer Rattler get out there and sling the ball around? Or is Derek Carr going to have some pride and take his butt out there? So the Bucs are 1 game under 500 at home. Let that sink in, folks. Yesterday's game was a WTF game. That was a Todd Bowles WTF game. Remember I was telling y'all about the WTF games? Remember I was telling y'all about that? It really ain't like that. The WTF games. I told y'all about them WTF games. And I was afraid of having one in the back end of the season. I really like that. The Bucs are 3-4 at home, 5-3 on the road. Oh my Lord. Did y'all know the Bucs are net points plus 75? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know every team outside of the Bucs, every team that is plus 75 in net points have 10 or more wins? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know every team that has a plus 75 net points, that means more points scored, in the NFC has 10 or more wins? Let that sink in. Let that sink in, folks. Let me repeat this. Every team outside of the Bucs in the NFC that has a plus 75 point differential has 10 or more wins. Can you believe that, folks? The Bucs have a plus 75 point differential and only got 8 wins. The rest of the teams have 10 or more wins. What does that tell you? What does that tell you, folks? The Rams have a negative 18 point differential and they're 9-6. Let that sink in. That's coaching, folks. They have a negative point differential. The Rams are 9-6. 3 games over 500. That's coaching, folks. Seattle with a negative 1 point differential, 8-7. Arizona plus 2 point differential, 7-8. When I tell you the Bucs have overachieved, they literally did, in my opinion. This is bananas, folks. This is bananas. The Cowboys, a negative 80 point differential, 7-8. 1 game behind the Bucs. The Bucs are 3-4 at home. It's bad, folks. How are you going to be a plus 75 in point differential and you only 1 game over 500? Yes, McVay is 9-6. McVay with a young team is 9-6. Leaps and bounds better than Todd Bowles. And I said this, I said if the Rams get healthy, they're going to be a hard team to beat. McVay is really like that. Damn, man. This is like, did we really want this to happen? So let me give you some more point differential. Miami Dolphin, the Miami Dolphin team, negative 24 point differential, 7 and 8. The Bengals, plus 30, 7 and 8. The Pittsburgh Steelers, plus 54, 10 and 5. Houston Texans, 9 and 6, plus net point differential, 20. They're 9 and 6. The Colts, negative 41, 7 and 8. The Kansas City Chiefs, 14 and 1 with a plus, with a net point plus differential of 78. Now remember now, the Bucs got 75. The Bucs are plus 75. The Chiefs are plus 78 and 14 and 1. Chargers plus 54, 9 and 6. The Broncos plus 82, 9 and 6. The Chiefs, are you kidding me? The Chiefs are a plus 50, a plus 78, and they're 14 and 1. The Bucs are a plus 75 and 8 and 7. Coaching matters. Coaching matters. See, people always refer to the players, but the coaches really matter. You mean to tell me the Chiefs are a plus 78 and they're 14 and 1, and the Bucs are a plus 75 and 8 and 7? We got better point differentials than a few teams, and they got better records than us. How is that possible? Well, let me give y'all some more insight. Let me give y'all the coaches that got these point differentials. McDermott, Mike Tomlin, Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, D'Amico Ryans, Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, like I said, Sean Payton, Nick Sirianni, Dan Quinn, Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay. Would you put Bowles anywhere near those coaches? Yes, Dan Quinn doing it with a rookie quarterback with Cliff Kingsbury as the OC. I just named y'all all the coaches that got more wins than the Bucs. And what did y'all find in common with those coaches I named? If we just had a better coach, folks, we'll have 10 wins already. Do y'all realize that? If we just had better coaching, we would have more wins. Despite the fact having a bad defense, we will have more wins. Dan Quinn got 10 wins with a rookie quarterback, Cliff Kingsbury, and a refunctioned defense. Remember, the Commanders' defense was terrible? They're not terrible no more. Coaching matters, folks. This is insane, folks. This is insane. The poor coaching ability of Todd Bowles got the Bucs at 8 and 7 with a plus 75 point differential. McVay has it in negatives 18, and they're 9 and 6. The Bucs gonna have to face the cold hard truth coming up. Yes, I would take Mike McCarthy over the Bulls. Yes, he's accomplished more. But what Bowles is what 52 and 68 as a head coach? And you asking me that question, King Cook? Am I taking McCarthy over Bowles? Yes. As a head coach, he's had way more success. Look at last night. No Dak Prescott, no Trayvon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb get hurt, no running game, and they still win the game. What are we doing here, King Cook? What are we doing, King Cook? Tighten up, King Cook. Come on now. Do better. Is that even a question? The Bucs outscored the Cowboys 10-3 in the second half. That is true. The Bucs had 410 yards total offense. The Cowboys had 317. The Bucs had 276 passing net, and the Cowboys had 286. The Bucs had 134 yards rushing. The Cowboys had 31. 5.9 yards per play for the Bucs. The Cowboys had 5.7. The Bucs had 25 first downs. The Cowboys had 15. The Bucs were 6 for 12 on third downs. The Cowboys were 5 for 15. The Bucs had 70 total plays. The Cowboys had 56. The Bucs allowed 4 sacks. The Cowboys allowed 1. The Bucs punted 4 times. The Cowboys punted 5. The Bucs had 6 penalties for 47 yards. The Cowboys had 5 for 30. The Bucs had 1 fumble loss. The Cowboys had no fumbles lost. The Bucs had 1 interception thrown. The Cowboys had 0. The Bucs had the ball for 32 minutes and 48 seconds. The Cowboys had the ball 27 minutes and 12 seconds. How the hell did we lose that game? How did we lose that game? We dominated all the categories. First down. Hey. Woo. How did we lose that game? We dominated in every category. The Bucs did have some awful penalties. Bad time. You know, the one thing about the Bucs I noticed about the Bucs, we get some bad penalties at the wrong time of the games. You know, when the Bucs get the penalty, you be like, why now? Ben Brereton, why did you hold? Yeah, 51 Russell. Dropped the pick, hit him in his hands. Oh, 51 Russell. Hit him in his hands. Jalen McMillan been coming on the last couple weeks. You got to fight for that, McMillan. Rashad White with the fumble, man. Come on, bruh. Well, I got to admit, the Cowboys was laying the wood. Pools. Yeah, that penalty by Izian. Yeah, that started the whole before the fumble happened. Izian had the penalty, the blocking the back penalty that had the Bucs pinned inside the 20. That's before the fumble. Which can affect the play calling. And I know people upset with Bucky Irvin not being in the game in that situation, and I get it. But I can also see from a football perspective, if Bucky Irvin is in the game and they got to pass protect, that's the problem. Rachaad White can pass protect a lot better than Bucky Irvin. Bucky Irvin is small. And if Bucky Irvin was in there, we don't know what would have happened, but I'm pretty sure Mike Zimmer would have attacked Bucky by blitzing. But man, the Cowboys was just drilling us, man, the whole game. And they were just getting after it, man. Like they punked the Bucs, man. They punked them. Bucky Irvin, 16 carries, 68 yards, 4.2 yards a carry, 1 touchdown. Rachaad White, 3 carries for 10 yards. What are we doing? What is Russell Shepard good for? What is he good for? Rachaad White, 7 catches for 50 yards. That's his role. McMillan had 5 for 57, Teddy. Mike Evans had 5 for 69. He has 0 catches. Trey Palmer had 2 for 31. Is it me or Trey Palmer only runs straight ahead? He has no sideway movement. Is it me or is it Trey Palmer got no wiggle to him? He just runs straight. Like all that speed, he ain't got no wiggle. Sterling Shepard, 1 catch for 20 yards. 20 yards. You hear me? Trey Palmer got no wiggle. he catches those punts. He runs straight. He don't have no no kind of movement. Payne Durham, 5 catches for 29 yards. Twenty yards and 2 drops. He said Payne Durham a terrible blocker. Terrible. I want to see more Raheem Jarrett and Ryan Miller. I don't want to see Trey Palmer anymore. Christian Izzy had 13 tackles. That's not a good sign, folks. When your smallest defender has 13 tackles, he ain't no damn Buda Baker. Thirteen tackles. 5'7", 180 pounds is your leading tackler. That's not good. The Cowboys had a lot of pressures last night. A lot of pressures on Baker. Baker made some good throws, but he got pressured a lot too. The Bucs threw the ball 43 times. They ran the ball from running backs. They ran the ball 19 times with running backs. 19 times. Now, I'm not counting Russell Shepard and with 1 carry and Baker Mayfield 3 carries. Just with the running backs, 19 carries for 78 yards. They threw the ball 44 times. That's not the recipe for winning. The Bucs threw the ball 44 times, ran the ball with the running backs 19 times. Oh my gosh, man. Football 101. You can't be so one-sided. That's where the interceptions come in. The possible fumbles, the sacks, the pressures, anything. The more you throw the ball, the more opportunities you create the opponent to get turnovers. I'm just saying, man. The running backs carried the ball 19 times, and Baker threw the ball 44 times. So clearly, let's put the ball in Baker Mayfield's hand and see if he can sling us back to victory. That's not the recipe, folks. When the Bucs run the ball successfully, Baker Mayfield looks leaps and bounds better. See, the numbers don't fool me. The 31 for 43, 303, 2 touchdowns. That don't fool me. Because a lot of that came when the Bucs were down. Cooper Rush, 26 for 35, 292, 1 tutty, no picks. He threw the ball 8 less times than Baker Mayfield and was more efficient. The Cowboys had, between the running backs, Ezekiel Elliott and Rico Dowdle, 16 carries for 44 yards. I'm sorry, 14 carries for 24 yards. That's what the running back production that the Cowboys got. 14 carries, 24 yards, and a touchdown. And that one long touchdown came from Ezekiel Elliott for 1 yard. The Cowboys had no run game. And CeeDee Lamb got hurt in the second half. $26 for 35 for 292. That's efficient as hell. Damn, man. Anyway, let me open up the locker room right quick. Let me let y'all talk, man. I'm gonna let y'all rock out for a little bit. I haven't opened the locker room in a while. Let me get right. I know I got 2 super chats I got to read too, so let me open the locker room right quick. Let me open up the locker room right quick. You feel me? I'm gonna let y'all rock out, man. I'm done talking. Todd Bowles, man. Sick of him, man. And I ain't got nothing against the Bucs, man. I just Todd Bowles, man. Where are we going with him, man? Let me read these super chats. Allen Robinson, $5 super chat. What's the name of the head coach that got fired from the Jets? Let's get him, man, as DC. Robert Saleh. Allen Robinson, you talking about Robert Saleh. Alge335, $5 super chat. The other local media is calling for Bowles' head. A little bit of Cohen bad play calling. They are pushing hard for Cohen to be the head coach. Of course. If the Bucs make the playoffs, they're not going to fire Bowles. They're not going to do that. The locker room is open for a little bit. Micah Parsons kind of disrupted the game a little bit too. Of course, they're trying to push Bowles out. It's the same thing with Lovie Smith. They pushed Lovie Smith out. They pushed Lovie Smith out for Dort Cutter. You see how that turned out, right? Dort Cutter. Anybody know where Dort Cutter at? Exactly. Not in the NFL. But people swore up and down he was a good coach. It's not the coach, folks. It's the quarterback. No, the coach was terrible. Mike Smith was terrible. Keep trying to tell y'all, man, football is not hard to figure out, man. Sam Darnold's career was in the dumps. He goes to a team with a good coach. You see the results? Sam Darnold finna get a bag for having one good season. Coaching matters. Baker Mayfield was on his way out pretty much. Gets with Liam Cohen. Gets with Dave Canales. Get with Liam Cohen. Look at him now. Geno Smith, another quarterback, bouncing around. Gets to the Seattle Seahawks. What are we doing here? Coaching matters. Russell Wilson. Everybody said he was washed. He goes to the Steelers and okay. The locker room is open, folks. The locker room is open. Anybody want to join the locker room and speak your piece? Feel free to click on the link. That is the link to the locker room. If you want to speak your piece about the game, go ahead and do it. I am listening. All callers are welcome. The locker room is wide open. Even if you don't like me, still click on it. Let's hear it. Anybody want to join the locker room? What we doing here now, y'all? I haven't opened the locker room up in weeks. Here's the opportunity to speak your piece about this game. And here we go. And here we go. I'm going to let y'all rock out if y'all want to rock out. Solo leveling. Level up. Yep.
Yo, what's happening?
What's happening, man?
You already know. I'm just, for the most part, I'm hopping on here to help encourage others to hop on in here because I know somebody got something to say.
Oh, they all got something to say. This setup is a little intimidating because now you got to talk, not type.
Right. But I low key expected the loss to the Cowboys. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
You
Low
did?
key, yeah, low key expecting it. Even though they should have won, but is every time the media comes out and they're like, "Oh, the Bucks, they're dangerous. So we don't want to. Nobody wants to see the Bucks." They come out and blow the game, penalties, fumbles. Coach Bowles out there looking stupid. That timeout when we got it down to the 10-yard line with a minute left in the half. Like he's quick to call timeout. Like let the time roll a little bit. It's not going to take you a minute to go 10 yards, is it?
Right.
Like I get it. They may stop you on first down. Okay, but if you got 30 seconds left, look, they stop you. It goes down to 22, maybe 18 seconds. These are the type of things I don't think Bowles thinks about in his head. Like when he's coaching, he's not sitting there before the drive. Even before you get down there to call a timeout with a minute left, you got to be thinking of all the different kind of scenarios that could happen. Bowles is just sitting there watching what does happen, and then he's making his decision based off that. It's like, come on, man. Why does this happen every single week? I think that happened before. What was it? The Chiefs game or some
Yep.
game we called a timeout early, and everybody's like, "Why'd you call a timeout there, Todd?" Oh, well, we had communications issues, and I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get Todd Bowles and his thinking out there. It's like he doesn't. He's never played the game of football before.
Time and time again, multiple instances during the season when it comes to time management has cost the Bucs field position, points, or the game itself. And I
Yeah.
kept telling people Todd Bowles is the biggest reason why this team is where it's at now. We should be better than we plus 75 in points. We plus 75.
I didn't know that until you pointed that out. That makes it even worse.
How the hell are we plus 75 and we're only 8-7?
I don't know.
Meanwhile,
no.
Tampa Bay is a negative 18, but 9-6.
But it's just like situational football, man. It's just every week it's something different. They find a new way to screw it up.
By a show of hands, this is for you and everybody, in the chat. How many people sick and tired of hearing about communication issues? I mean,
sure.
Christ, man.
For sure. Communication issues and fundamentals.
Like, come on, man. Like, this is your defense since 2019. How many times you gonna keep using this communication issue as a crutch? Like, we supposed to feel sorry. Oh, well, it is his first year as defense. No, man. Come on, man. The same defense for the last few years, and then you still got communication issues. You can't cover the middle of the field.
Let me ask you a question. Would you have went for it on fourth down at the beginning of the game when you're down 3-0?
No.
Not at all. You were at what, about midfield? You pinned them deep there, right?
Yeah, I mean, if not, well, just for me, I wouldn't have went for it. It was only 3-0. I mean, but if you was like at the 45 or the 42, yeah, I would have went for it.
Exactly. You go for it there. But I think there was a game earlier this year where he didn't go for it, where he should have went for it. And it was like, bro, what are you doing? It's just nothing Todd Bowles does is consistent enough.
He doesn't have a feel for the game. That's the issue I have with him. He don't have the feel for the moments. Like he'll look at the game for the totality of the game, but I'm talking about the moments in the game. The key moments is where he blows it. The Chiefs game, the 49ers game, both of the Falcons game. It's like, come on, the Broncos game when we got tore up. This Cowboys game. It's like the Ravens game. It's like, how many times we're going to have to keep going through this?
Yeah, and I'll say this last thing before I get up out of here and let my man say what he's going to say. But the reason I feel like a lot of teams, like especially, the old backup quarterback, rookie quarterbacks come in and light Todd Bowles up. What do you do with a backup quarterback or a rookie quarterback? You're not going to have it. You're not going to have it complicated. A complicated scheme. You're going to keep it simple. Okay. And if you keep it simple against Todd Bowles, you're going to eat them up every time. That's why in 2 minute situations, 48 seconds left last night, teams can just go boop, 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 boop right down the field for a field goal.
Every time.
Because Todd Bowles, he complicates it so much. Like, for instance, we signed Deion Jones to the practice squad. Deion Jones, that's somebody who has NFL experience. Put him out there on the field and let him play. But no, he's got to understand our defense and understand our calls. So we signed him 2 months ago, but he's not going to be ready till week 18. What do we sign Deion Jones for? Like, you got players out there, put them on the field and make it easy for them to make plays. That's why we only have 7 interceptions on the year, because we're the youngest team and we got all these guys thinking out on the field. Oh, well, this zone here, that zone there. No, just put the ball down and play football. It doesn't have to be complicated. And if you keep it simple against Todd Bowles, you're going to eat them up. Over the middle here, out to the sideline here, back over the middle, back to the other sideline. Boom, we're at the
Well,
25-yard line.
his blitz packages are so vanilla. Like it's not like Brian Flores' blitz packages.
Right.
Like
Especially now that we don't have players. But
Brian Flores, Anthony Weaver, these are all DCs, by the way. Brian Flores, Anthony Weaver, Zach Orr, Mike McDonald. They got these blitz packages where they confuse the hell out of you. Todd Bowles, he literally it's like somebody throwing a punch and they telling you where they're gonna throw it at. It's right here, y'all.
exactly. Telegraph.
It's right here. I'm about to hit you with the right hand, right here. Like, no, man. You keep doing the same exact blitz. Is it the Levante David up the middle or Tyke Smith off the corner?
And I'll tell you this. If you go back and watch all the defensive stops on third down, I bet 60% of them is off bad throws. The quarterback throwing the ball too high or too low.
Yeah, it was a
It's
couple
not
of
guys. It's not guys actually making plays. But that's all I'm gonna say, man. I ain't gonna take up all the time.
Oh yeah, I mean Cooper Rush was 26 for 35, so he only had 9 attempts. So I know we got another guy here. Speaking of these, man, I know we just up here chopping it up, man. Go ahead, man. You know, don't get quiet, man. I know you made a super chat, Alex 335. Now I know you got something to say.
I think you muted, big dog.
Yeah, you unmute yourself. Join the conversation. You came in, you was ready to talk.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now, what you got, man?
Hey.
Please.
Hey guys. Hey.
Yo.
What's going on,
man? Hey. Bucos. Well, hey, Isaiah, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Hey, look, hey, I just want to say, you know, hey, happy holidays to you and your family.
Man.
Like I said, man, you know, you kept me sane throughout the entire season, and hopefully the other media folks, you know, don't really
definitely a connection issue.
Do an in-depth.
You have I think your internet
analysis like you.
Your internet is going in and out. I don't know. Are you watching YouTube and StreamYard?
In regards to all, all
your mic keep cutting in and out.
22s and the like to really look and see.
Yes, you might keep cutting out. You might want to maybe like come back in, like back in. You got something to say, but it's your mic. It keeps going in and out. So while he got that, trying to fix that part, keep it going. Drop out and try to come back in. Click on the link again and see if that'll fix the problem. But your mic was jacked up. y'all be cool, man. Y'all so ruthless, man. Boy,
I couldn't even see the chat.
Y'all don't let nobody live on this thing, man. Boy, they on that boy head. Boy.
I can't even see it.
God, Lil want to look at the chat. They on his head. They like,
It sounded like he was going in from the little bit of what I heard, though.
Yeah, he was going in, but we couldn't get like the whole.
Right.
We couldn't get the
That's funny.
He got that old 1990 internet connection.
With the free trial, the AOL, you got 1,400 minutes.
You're right. It downloads 1 minute, upload 500.
Jeez.
That dial-up speed.
Yeah.
AOL. What up, Big Buck? OG in the building. No, I know he got something to say. Come on, I know I got some OG in there. Stop playing it. Y'all in that chat playing.
Man, hey, bro, you caught me at a weird time while I was driving. And we had to pull over, but man, I gotta start with this, man. You do realize, man, when the Bucs lose, you don't do no live stream, man. We done lost 7 games this year because you didn't live stream, bro. But outside of that, though, man, I was not surprised with what I saw last night. I really wasn't, but I was expecting that. But I actually really thought they were going to win the game. I said, you know what? For the first time, I say the football guys finna give us a victory. They got to stop and use the timeout, got the ball back. I said they finna drive, and he gonna kick a field goal to end the game. I really thought that. Now, I just really the only issue I took issue with was obviously what you discussed was the middle of the field, the linebacking core situation and stuff. But why do you just leave what is Todd seeing to leave the middle of the field wide open like they ain't gonna see that? I mean, it's nothing exotic about his defensive blitzes or anything. It's nothing special or confusing. They just see it, call the slide protection, and boom, quarterback just get the ball out quick. And I know that your safeties was down, but I don't think it would have been the same if Winfield Jr. and Whitehead were there. I honestly think it would have been the same results. But I gotta say that I did not like the fact that I don't know if you pointed this out, but Dallas was the 29th ranked defense versus the run, and we only could muster up 78 yards with 2 running backs. Mm-hmm. Now that was the problem to me. I was just like, dude, it's like he refuses to establish the run game. When you start running good, he refuses to stick with it. Like when it starts working. And I get that they got down, but once we got back into the game, you see that they couldn't stop the run. But it's just like his run plays, you want to run the same thing. Run a little motion and then run a little off tackle play or a zone read and let him plant and go. Let Bucky go in, plant and go. But the other part is I think teams done figured that out because it's dead obvious when Mike Evans comes to the sideline or he's not in the game or he lines up to the left side every time, it's a 50-50 chance it's going to be a handoff every time. And you telling me, now if I see that as just a fan, what are these D coordinators seeing? Like last night, you went against Mike Zimmer. There's no telling what kind of tendencies he saw or whatever. So, I mean, I just thought that was I thought you could have ran the ball more. I mean, I think anytime you can establish a run, we know that about Baker. If the running game is going, he's going to look very good. And we didn't see that last night. I mean, I didn't like the fact that he threw the ball 43 times. I just don't like that. It's never a good outcome for us when we do that.
A lot of that yardage came in the fourth quarter, like late.
Yeah, I mean, we were down. I still can't get over that interception. Like, I was just like, Millen, you got to fight for that ball. I mean, you just let the man take it. And Now, I don't know if you discussed this earlier, but that pass that CeeDee Lamb caught, how was that defensive holding when the DB never touched him and he clearly extended his arm on a push off?
I know, right?
It was early
I
in the
mean,
route.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
he didn't never touch him. They showed the
He
replay,
did.
and he didn't never touched him.
He mugged him.
And if he,
But CeeDee Lamb pushed him in the back too, but my bad.
that's what I'm saying. It should have, if anything, it should have been offsetting. But you have a 5-yard, I think, what is it? A 5-yard rule where you can do whatever within the first 5 yards, and as long as the quarterback is in the pocket or something like that. So I was just like, he just took 3 steps back and just threw it deep, and nobody noticed that. They kept trying Zion McCullum, like, hey, we just gonna throw it deep. And it's like he gets nervous when the ball is deep and he start running. He gets nervous in there when the ball is in there for some reason. And then I don't know what the hell Jamel Dean was doing. I mean, you would think with CeeDee Lamb having a hurt shoulder, you would think if I get a hand on it, I'm gonna touch that shoulder every place. You ain't like, I ain't being dirty or nothing, but I'm gonna use that injury that I know your right shoulder is messed up. I'm gonna use that to my advantage and put my hands on it.
Right.
Yeah, true that.
Jamel
mean,
Dean
it's just
is a nice
like,
guy. He ain't got
say
that
what?
a-hole. I said Jamel Dean is a nice guy. He ain't got enough a-hole in him like that.
I mean, you at this point now, the way the game is wide open, you got to be an a-hole to play cornerback. You just have to.
Yeah.
You need to. I mean, y'all can. What's that?
You don't play with confidence, man. You don't play with swag. Like, you know what
You
I'm
ain't
saying?
seen you have not seen Dean play with any kind of confidence. But one time that was against what was it, Green Bay, when he caught that pick six.
Yep.
That's about the only time I seen him play with any kind of confidence. And he said he spent the week watching film with Bowles, looking at stuff and looking at tennis. I'm like, okay, you don't think that works? To continue to do that every week? I'd have been sending his offense every week doing that. If I'm gonna have these kind of results.
That's funny. That's so true.
I mean, that may sound funny, but I mean, yeah. I mean, nobody talk about. I mean, I ain't trying to get off subject, but Tom Brady sat in Bill Belichick office twice a week and they watch film together. And you tell me that didn't rub off on Tom? You got arguably the greatest defensive minded football coach talking with a quarterback, telling you how defense it works and what it's designed for, and he telling you where the weak point is at. That's gonna work. I mean, I would embrace that.
Watching that game, it's almost like a microcosm of. It's almost like sometimes, you know, it's hard to accept reality for what it is, but at the end of the day, I always refer back to what does your eyes tell you, not what you feel.
Dog, it's 2016 all over again. That's what it feels like looking at this. You won 4 games and then boom, you fumble the bag against the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, 2016, 9-7.
I mean, the game that you needed to win, tossed you to the playoffs. All you had to do was beat Dallas, and you had the tiebreak over everybody else. If you would have lost the next 2 games and got the 9-7 because you had the tiebreaker over New York, I believe, because you beat Dallas, that would have put you in.
Yep.
And it's just like the Bucs always try to act like, well, we got a scenario we can lose a game, but we can win. I'm like, no, you need to just take care of business. Keep the pressure on it. That would have kept the pressure on Atlanta.
Right.
And like I said, Atlanta gonna play with a little edge now, but at the same time, you can't tell me Dan Quinn ain't gonna have Washington fired up to go play Atlanta because Atlanta fired him, so he gonna want to stick it to Atlanta.
Yeah, Raheem Morris coached for the Commanders too.
Yeah.
Say what now? Raheem
Morris coached for the Commanders.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's how he got connected with the Shanahan tree when he went.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think he was DC. What was he the DC?
No, he was the secondary coach, and then he became like the assistant head coach in Atlanta.
Right. Look at the crossover right there. So, you know, that's an interesting crossover there. So it's like Dan Quinn has turned that franchise around in one season with a rookie quarterback. I will repeat, a rookie quarterback.
He figured out how to coach him looked at his mistakes, what he did, and I think he just said like, "Hey, I'm gonna just be the CEO, but trust the play calling, but overturn the play calling if it don't make sense in the end."
Dan Campbell syndrome. It's like Dan Campbell does the same thing. I'm gonna hire the guys who I think that's gonna coach our team, coach our guys up. I'm just gonna be, just around for the big moments. And we were hoping that Todd Bowles can become that type of coach, but he will never become a Dan Quinn, Dan Campbell, Mike Tomlin type coach, Sean McVay type coach. These are coaches that, well, Sean McVay is more hands-on, but Mike Tomlin, Dan Campbell, Dan Quinn are not hands-on. They're hands-on with the players, like talking to them, but as far as like the play calling, they don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They did that in the younger, when they're like Dan Quinn was the DC of Seattle, the Cowboys. Dan Campbell was the tight ends coach. And then he did call some plays when the Lions were not good when he first got there. He did grab the sheet and he was calling plays. So he has an offensive background. But once they came out of that role, they became more CEO, more of the game management. They hired the right people to make the calls on their team. That's the job of a CEO. The job of a CEO is not to get your hands dirty, a la Todd Bowles, unless you are elite like Andy Reid or McVay or LaFleur. And Todd Bowles is not elite. That's the difference. See, Todd Bowles got his hands in the defense with Larry Foote and the other coordinator, what's the other the guy?
Casey Rogers.
Rogers.
Yeah.
You got your hands. You're the overall play caller for the defense, but you're not being a CEO, and you're not doing a good job as a play caller, and you're not doing a good job as a CEO. See, in the business world, that's caused a fireable offense, because when you look at the sheets, when you look at that money, when you look at that funds coming into that company, and if you are in a negative or you're not doing good, the board has a meeting and be like, okay, you're not doing a good job as a CEO. We got to get you up out of here. See, Todd Bowles is not doing a good job in two areas: defensive coordinator and as a CEO. So, even like Raheem Morris. And I'll say this last piece right here. Raheem Morris has been a OC kind of guy. He's been a DC guy. He's been a secondary coach. He's been an assistant head coach. But if you notice, if you're looking at Raheem Morris now, Raheem Morris don't be all involved with the play calling. He's just sitting there with his arms folded. You notice that?
Yeah.
See, Todd Bowles at some point, Casey Rogers, Larry, you just gotta say, hey guys, you guys call defense. I'm going to manage the game. I don't know if Todd Bowles has the right personnel around him to elevate him. Well, he has Liam Cohen, but Casey Rogers and Larry Foote, what's their roles?
Hey, so I guess with that being said, if Todd go ahead and be able to hang on for one more year, does he need to go ahead and get himself a DC? And who's that DC?
Well, his scheme, it's going to have to be somebody that's familiar from the Cardinals time frame, the Jets time frame, and also that coached with the Bucs or coached with him in the Eagles because he did coach with the Eagles because he was on that staff a long time ago with all those future head coaches. So it's gonna have to be somebody that's connected to him. It can't be some random dude that don't like to run his philosophy. His philosophy is 3-4 hybrid. He don't do 5-man fronts on norm. Everything his base front is 3-4. He don't like running 4-3. He hates that. He wants fast guys on the field. That's why he has the Bucs defense is small. Outside of Vita and Yaya, the Bucs defense is small.
Yeah, they're small.
They're small. I mean, it's weird. The secondary is small. Well, the safeties are small. There's no aggressiveness there. Now, Todd Bowles' defense could work if it was more aggressive players. I can see where it could work, but the Bucs don't have aggressive players. For some strange reason, they don't have aggressive guys. Has anybody noticed that? Everybody's too damn nice.
Bowles' defense never got two things that
take that interception away. So no. So I mean that kind of that showed that there. But I think the thing of it is again is that It's all about, if you can handle the CEO job, like you're saying, to be able to, take care of everything from the game management standpoint, but then just let your DC just bequeath the DC issues, the OC issues with folks that you trust. I think the team would be much, much better with that. And we got it, with Liam. But I guess the thing of it is here, Todd's longevity here is going to be based on whether or not he can have that come to Jesus moment to say, you know what, maybe I need to go ahead and just, not go ahead and just, get someone else that has a kind of like mind philosophy to run this defense so I can get better in depth on managing the game. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm pulling for him to get through this season and be our coach next season. I'm always about the black coach, right? That's just me. But, if he can't do it, then, he's going to be another coach that, that didn't adapt and wasn't able to succeed as a head coach. Would he be a DC elsewhere? Perhaps. But, right now, I think that self-awareness, he needs to go ahead and just understand that and just go ahead and let somebody else, to handle the play calling from a DC perspective. That's just my thoughts.
It's almost like the I'm gonna compare these two. There's similarities here. So Jason Light, Todd Bowles, Bruce Arians, they all coached back in Arizona together. For those of you that's not familiar with the storyline with Todd Bowles and how he got there, he's been with Bruce Arians since 2012, I believe, and he coached with him in Arizona. Arizona was good for a couple of seasons, and they fell apart when Carson Palmer got hurt, and that franchise was recovered. Todd Bowles got up out of there. Arians got fired, side swipe, kind of like ushered out there, and Jason Light kind of like slid over to the Bucs GM job in 2014. Now, Jason Light pre-Brady was doing a terrible job, right? And what saved Jason Light's job, he went and got Tom Brady and Super Friends, right? And if it wasn't for that,
True
Jason
that.
Light was like one more season. That was it, because he was 34-62 as a GM. And he made some bad drafts. He had some good guys, but he's missed on an entire draft. Can't do that. So by him going out on the limb and getting Tom Brady and Super Bowl, that Super Bowl brought Jason Light literally a couple more years. And it of course it played itself out because he sustained the team. When Tom Brady got here, Tom Brady, I think the Bucs record was 32-18 with Tom Brady as a quarterback. And then since Tom Brady's left, up until this point, post Tom Brady, the Bucs are currently 25-24. So this is Jason Light, three different areas with Jason Light as a GM. Before Tom Brady, with Tom Brady, and now post Tom Brady with Baker Mayfield. So you got 34-62, 32-18, and then you got 25-24, right? So with tied this in with Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles currently as the head coach is 25-24. Currently, his current record.
It's 500.
Saying with the come to Jesus moment, Todd Bowles needs to have that, or his time will be on the clock, like when Jason Light was on the clock. And you have to make a drastic move, like the come to Jesus moment. So Todd Bowles need to have that drastic change. Jason Light did it, and it bought him, several more years, because he got that Super Bowl has bought Jason Light several more years, right?
I think that done ran out though. I think it's time done ran out. If they just have a downfall this year, if they don't make the playoffs, I say you clean house.
I mean, I don't see the Glazers doing that, because
They won't, but I can see them getting rid of Bowles and promoting whatchamacallit to head coach. I can see them doing that. That would not be surprising at all. Right. But I know you said it's three different eras of Jason Light, but there's no way you can just as a fan sit there and see like, dude, this man missed on multiple drafts.
Right.
Like there's just no way you can sit there and be like this dude missed on the entire 2016 and 2017.
Set the franchise back several years.
I mean, and then we're getting excited because we're depending on small school prospects, or we're here trying to hype up a third or fourth round pick as opposed to the first or second round pick. And I'm just like, dude, your track record doesn't show that you've hit on many first or second round picks.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys are look at the current team is constructed now. I mean, all right, so we'll start with the offense, right? So you got your Tristan Wirfs, the stud, left tackle, or right tackle turned to left tackle. And then you have Luke Kadecki, second round pick. And then you have Cody Balt, second round. Graham Barton, first round. And then you got Ben Brettson, free agent, right? So 4 out of your 5 guys that's on the O-line you drafted in the first 2 rounds. So that means you built the O-line up.
Are you going to extend Gedeke, or are you going to look to go draft another tackle?
That's right, because his contract's up.
Yeah, his contract is up. So are you going to extend him and overpay him, or are you going to find?
Ooh, this is interesting. You got Godwin, Luke Kadecki.
But you got to go. But you cannot go without. You cannot go without addressing the defense. There is no way in hell you don't do that. In my opinion, you cannot go without this draft without addressing the defense.
Yeah, so hey, I agree with you, Big Bucks. You know, I think the thing of it is here, we ain't got no pass rusher, so
yeah, dude,
that was clearly evident.
Bro, don't get me started on pass rush, because I think everybody on this page know what I will say, but I mean he should know what I'm gonna say. I mean, if you're not familiar, I can bring you up to speed what I've been saying for the last almost 5 years.
I've been here, bro. I've been listening to you.
Well, I'm gonna just say his name, Barrymore, that played with the Patriots. We should have got him over Joe. I'm gonna just say over that boy from Washington. That was the pick, and you let Belichick get him.
I mean, and then if those of you that's been with me since 2016-17, you already know. Devin White over Josh Allen. What are we doing there? What are we doing?
Wow.
I mean, you pick Devin White, and you ain't got no edge rush, but you depending on. And then what made it worse? JPP had a neck injury right before you knew JP had hurt his neck before the draft, and you still got Devin White, and Josh Allen was sitting right there.
OJ Howard over TJ Watt and
Devin. Don't even get me started. You picked OJ Howard, and Cameron Brake was coming off a career year and led all tight ends in receiving touchdown, and you gonna get a tight end in the first round when you know you needed a running back or offensive lineman.
He's not, like I said, now Brady up until now, he's really driven to that O-line. He's really invested in O-line.
I'll give him that, but I just feel like the prospects he's could have gotten, I guess that's just in his DNA, because he went to a small school. He wants to give the small school guy a chance, and he prides himself on that. But you have a damn All-American from Penn State or Ohio State sitting right there in the second, third, fourth round, but you want this guy out of friggin' Hot Wire University in California or something like that. Like I just could never understand that.
Well,
this is about the money of it.
Safe pick guy. He's a safe pick type. You know what I'm saying? He goes with the logic of like, okay, I'm gonna be tipsy turvy type guy. I'm not gonna do no drafting. I get it, but going back to your point, Big Buck, you got to get the guys that matter. And it's no disrespect to small school guys, because at some point, your guy just got to be better. Your guy. Yeah. This is like going back to the Bucs had the most undrafted rookies playing and all this stuff like that. That's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it goes back further than Lynch. Jason Light though. It goes way it go back to that. What was that GM before him? The dumbass that signed a punter with $70 million in cap. You go back to him.
I think his name was Mark Dominic, something like that.
Yeah, him. It goes back to him that the Bucs have been doing something like that. I mean, and then when Raheem was here in that one winning season he had, they thought like it's always been the Bucs DNA. Oh, we think we smarter than everybody. If we have success doing it one time, we're gonna turn around and do it again. 2010, you drafted all them rookies and played them and thought that was gonna work again the next year with cap space. You're gonna draft all them rookies again next year and think you can do it over again. Like it's just like as a franchise, it's just like dang, we damn if we just doomed is what it feels like.
Well, the worst one was Roberto Aguayo, man.
See, I looked into that. They made him change up his kicking form, and I was just like, you shouldn't have spent the high pick on him if you gonna like. Why would you trade up to get him just to bring him in and make him change his kicking style?
Well, they try to pull that Sebastian Janikowski thing with the Raiders. We got one too. No, that's not normal. But going back to the current situation with Todd Bowles is Todd Bowles, and we've been saying this for the last couple of years with Todd Bowles. Like, either you're going to be the DC or you're going to be the head coach, man. Like, you can't. You're not that type of coach that can do both, man.
No, he's not. He's nowhere near that.
Thank you, Isaiah. That's what I've been trying to say.
Like you said earlier, what is Larry Foote? What is he doing there? Why is he not in position to call the defense as the linebacker coach or Casey Rogers, like you said? Like, no, like he really trusts he don't trust any of them?
Because he calls all the plays on defense. I'm sitting there watching him with the sheet in his hand. I'm like, dude, you gotta relinquish that, man. Trust your guys. Focus on the bigger picture here, so that way you can manage the time.
Yes.
Game management. What are you trying to prove here? Okay, your defense with the right pieces can be good. We've seen that, right? We know how that works. But at this current point, your defense is not good.
His defense ain't look good. The only time, like I get we won the Super Bowl and you had solid players, but when has he had a defense that looked good? You had a player in their prime that looked good. Like it was an aging veteran, but he was on the back end of his prime. I can only think of when John Abraham went out there in 2013, he looked good until he got that concussion and retired. I mean, and then like I said, we had the stretch of 2019, 20, and 21, but we were suspect against the pass. I mean, the pass rush was only good because you went against backup offensive linemen in the playoffs. I mean, and that's what they did what they were supposed to do. You were supposed to make them look like backups.
Right. That's true.
With no pass rush, he look good, man.
Something has to change. Something has to change because the route that the Bucs are going right now, and I'm gonna keep saying this, the Bucs have a limit, they have a threshold, they have a ceiling with Todd Bowles, and I'm gonna keep telling. Look, nothing against Baker Mayfield, doing a good job, right? Nothing against Liam Cohen. It's Todd Bowles that's gonna hold this team back. I'm gonna say this time in and time out. If you think this team is going to the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl, you are asinine tripping.
Nah, I'm being realistic. Like, you hopeful for that, but nah, not with that defense, bro.
Like we got too many issues.
Tear that up, man.
You got too many issues to be.
It's too much stuff that got to go right and has to happen for you to even make it that far. And that's not me hating or being negative. We've seen this, like you said, for how many years? And then I even looked at it even more. You even go back to Baker's time in Cleveland. If the running game is not on point, he's not effective. That's just bottom line.
Yep. It's like a head scratching moments where, like this season alone, the like going back and watching the Broncos game, like we got completely smacked around that game by Sean Payton. Smacked around. You remember what he said?
You remember what he said before the game or after the game? Said he looked at film from 4 years ago. It's the exact same thing. I'm like that should tell it all right there.
I remember that, bro. I remember it, bro. It's not gonna change unless Todd Bowles
stubborn.
Have a conversation with the front office or something, bro. Like it ain't gonna change.
He's stubborn. Like, why do you think Bucs fans are calling for Liam Cohen to take the job? Because we can see Liam Cohen, 39 years old, 40 years old, in his prime as a coach. He's hot. He got the offense looking good. He can figure out the defense, because if he becomes a head coach, he's going to change that defensive scheme. He's going to get rid of that nonsense. I can tell you that right now. He's a Sean McVay guy, so he's going to get rid of that. He's going to go to the 4-3. All the Sean McVay's guys pretty much do 4-3, or they do a 4-3 base or 3-4 type setup, but it's more 4-3. But he's going to get rid of that nonsense that Todd Bowles stink on defense, right? And that's what it is. It's a Todd Bowles stink on defense, right? And Liam Cohen, his offensive scheme, his philosophy has been carrying most of the weight for the bulk of the season. Todd Bowles, his defense will make plays here and there against lesser competition, but just from an overall perspective, Liam Cohen's philosophy offensively has put the Bucs in the situation they're in right now.
I gotta disagree on lesser competition. Look how we played yesterday. That was lesser competition, and they destroyed that defense yesterday.
I got a question.
If Dave Canales was the OC this year, what should the Bucs record to be?
Same. Maybe a game up. Maybe, but we don't know if he'll. We don't know if he would try to run the ball because he just wanted to pass. So we don't even know if Bucky. We wouldn't even know we had Bucky if he would have had the numbers he had this year with Canales, the way he likes to throw, drop back and throw.
Now keep in mind, Dave Canales and Liam Cohen are not Todd Bowles' quote unquote guy. They're not a part of his tree at all. They just there to stop through to get a job. Let's make that clear. They're not Todd Bowles guys. They just that job was open. Nobody was checking for Canales. People wasn't rushing to hire Liam Cohen.
Yeah, that nobody talks about that. I mean, if the same thing, I guess my question is, I'm sorry if you was about to ask a question. I was going to ask if we're in the same situation again this offseason where, let's say they retain Bowles, but the OC is up for a head coaching job and he accepts it. Would he just promote within this time instead of going through the interview process? Would he just promote within, or do he really believe that people would interview for the job? You would get a lot of people to interview.
Well, I'm gonna say this first and foremost: the job Liam Cohen has done this season, there is no way, shape, fashion, form he's not a head coach in 2025.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying if he left, but they retained Bowles, I'm saying would he just promote the quarterback's coach to OC and not go through that interview process? Because I mean, 10 you got to go. Is what 10 people? Who you gonna find, or is it gonna be are you gonna allow Baker to make the call? Because that's the only reason he got the job. That was pretty much they let Baker decide who to be the OC.
Well, the most likely scenario that comes out of this situation, whether Todd Bowles gets the Bucs to the playoffs or not, you're gonna lose Liam Cohen unless you keep him. So let's just go ahead and put that out there.
I'm just saying hypothetically, because I honestly see this being a Lovie Smith situation. That's honestly what I think is gonna happen. They're gonna go ahead and move on from Bowles and retain Cohen and make him the head coach. I really do think that's what is gonna happen.
Yeah, that's going to be Dirk Cutter, bro.
Only two scenarios.
That's going to be Dirk Cutter, Lovie Smith all over again, man.
If the Bucs make the playoffs, Todd Bowles has bought himself another year or two. If he don't make the playoffs, the pressure is going to rise because there are going to be multiple teams. The Jets, Giants, the Raiders might think about it. They might Titans. The Bengals, there's the Saints, there's several teams out here. The Bears, they're gonna be like, yo, Liam, what's happening, man? You interested? What you trying to do? You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't gonna turn it down. All McVay and Shanahan disciples, they don't turn down head coaching jobs. They take them. And for the Bucs to keep Liam Cohen, you're gonna have to make that decision and say, all right, Todd Bowles, it's been fun, but we got this 40-year-old, soon to be 40-year-old possible head coach up and coming. Can you imagine if Liam Cohen goes to another team and that team is better? Oh my!
I can only imagine that.
Can't find that, man.
It'll be a disaster.
That would be gut wrenching.
Right.
That would be gut wrenching in 2025.
That ain't the word.
Right. That's too generous, man.
and if he goes, because he's been around Sean McVay for a long time, and Remember, Sean McVay got hired at what 30, 31-ish, right? And then Liam Cohen's 39 going on 40. So that's still considered young as a head coach. But he goes to a team that got some pieces, but he just needed a Liam Cohen touch, Big McVay type touch, Shanahan touch. And that team turns it around. We're gonna be scratching our head as Bucs fans, like, what? We let this guy get up out of the organization? Really? You know what I'm saying? Like, we set back. Now we stuck with Todd Bowles.
I mean, it's really about is the ownership. They willing to move on and pay out his contract. They're gonna be cheap, or they're gonna want to spend the money and invest to be aggressive and try to get back to winning. But I
The
doubt
only
the
scenario
ownership would take that route.
the scenario I see with Todd Bowles is if he just gives up the play caller on defense and trusts his guys and become more of a Dan Campbell, Dan Quinn type thing, Mike Tomlin type situation, and just hire the right guys. Because if you lose Liam Cohen, which there's a high probability, I ain't saying it's going to happen, but there's a high probability you lose Liam Cohen. Just hire the right guy. I don't know how much input he has in offense. I don't think he has much input this year than he had last year. I think last year he had his hands in there somewhere. This year the offense is so good, you can't say nothing. You can't. You have no. So you can tell where's Todd Bowles' fingerprints in the offense.
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Nowhere. But you saw it last year though. You saw it last year. What's Todd Bowles being conservative for? He called for that. You vetoed Dave Canales and that's the call. You didn't want to kick a field goal. You want you know what I'm saying. But this year the offense is so good. He like shit. Liam Cohen, man, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you got it. But now everybody looking at him and his deficiencies with the defense. Like, yo, man, your defense, man, we're 8-7 because of your damn defense. Your damn defense.
I got a question though. You think if Leo Cohen becomes a head coach, do you think he may be the play caller for the defense as well, bro? Because he gotta get a defensive coordinator. Something like you said, like Robert Saleh. He could develop players. If you saw him with the 49ers in that defense, I think he could develop some players for our team.
Is he gonna want to? Is you got to ask yourself though? You go from a head coach back to a DC. Do they really want to take that step back
that
again?
happens. That happens often though. You know,
I got a
I
question.
mean, I think it depends on the situation and if it's a buddy type situation. But like I said, if you're a well-known defensive coordinator and you done figured out like, okay, I'm just more or less, okay, I'm better off being a D coordinator than I am a head coach, then okay, cool. I wouldn't have an issue with that. But would that happen though? I mean, that's just wishful
there are
thinking.
some teams
That's the case.
there are some dudes that want to be the
If
head
that's the
coach
case,
more than that.
why haven't Steve Spagnuolo been offered a head coaching job again?
I mean, truthfully, who you think is gonna come want to be the DC of the Bucs if they did move on
I
from
got a
Bowles and
question for you.
they look at the defense. You
How
ain't got
y'all feel
nobody.
about how y'all feel about Larry Foote?
We don't know what we don't know. We don't even know what he. We don't know.
Yeah, he a
Yeah,
linebacker.
that's what I'm trying to get around to. To me, I think he could change the personality of this team as far as the defense is concerned. But I think Bowles won't let him get a shot. I think he should be calling the defense. He has that mentality.
Yeah, remember at Pittsburgh, he was
Yeah,
aggressive.
he's very aggressive, and I think he'd be a great defensive coordinator if Bowles would get out of his way. What I want to see Bowles out of there, Liam take head coach, and Larry Foote take over as DC. I just want to get younger at all coaching areas. These old fossils we got on as far as his defensive coordinator, his team on the defense, as far as coaches, these guys are old and outdated, man.
But that's the thing, though. But
They're not developing these guys. They still got this old 1990s type of way of coaching up players, and it ain't working.
So you think that's affecting Braswell?
I think I think Larry Foote could develop these guys into somebody. Give him a chance, man, because what Todd doing ain't I ain't feeling it, man. I wasn't feeling the game plan at all. None of it. Offense, defense. We got beat up on both
You was at
sides
the
of the
game.
ball.
You was at the game.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And it was people sitting there saying, "Oh man, y'all don't want it. Y'all don't want it.
Exactly.
Y'all don't want it. Look at how y'all playing. Y'all giving us this game." They was playing scared. Dean still playing 7, 8 yards off of players. Dude, you got all this speed. What is you worried about getting burnt for? But I see why. Because once he tries to make a tackle and miss, it's a wrap.
Yup.
Wow.
He's terrible, man. He got to go. I put in the chat all the players I said need to get up out of here, and he's one of them. He got to out. This draft has to be all defense. We don't need to get no other offensive player lineman either, because what we get Klein for then? Let him develop, push Bredesen up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
All these old players is getting all this money. They stealing money. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Gaines. Go. Anthony Nelson. Go. All y'all go.
I got a question though. How soon do you think we should look for Levante Davis' replacement, man?
Now.
Oof. I'll say that. Yeah.
He had a very bad game yesterday.
Yeah,
very. It got to the point where they were targeting him.
I don't even know that tight end's name. He let him beat him bad, bro.
They were targeting Levante Davis, y'all.
Yeah, he had no business covering the slot receiving on that touchdown.
Yeah,
that was crazy. It
was just head scratching play after head scratching play, man. It was. I didn't get it. I didn't get the game plan. I don't know why they went away from the run so early. I don't know why Liam. But that's what scares me about Liam Cohen becoming a head coach, because for some reason he wants to show off how creative he can be in the passing game when it's clear that the running game is working.
Yeah, on that final
drive.
Why
did he keep going away from it?
On that final drive, he should have had Bucky Irvin on a screen pass.
I don't know about that final drive, but within that 9 minutes of the last fourth quarter, there should have been some Bucky in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
y'all keep saying the last 2 minutes. No, he wasn't in the game for the last 9 minutes of the game.
I know.
At all.
That made no sense, man. Like,
man, what are you doing? We've been riding this kid's back for the last 3-4 weeks. Why are you trying to go away from that? Well, I think they get too cute. Liam tends to get cute, and y'all might not see it, but I think a lot of team owners and head coaches and stuff see that too. They gonna see that he still ain't ready yet. He's up and coming, but I think he need another year to even be considered as a head coach, because he has a lot of head scratching plays throughout the damn game. It happens a couple times a game.
It was that Mike Evans 1,000 yard season, man. Forget that. Win the game, bro. Just win the game.
He ain't even trying to get Mike. He's not even drawing up nothing to get Mike the ball.
Mike had 0 targets in the
second half.
Bro, he was looking down for the field for him every single time. And
remember now, y'all got to keep in
mind. Man, there's certain plays and certain rub-off plays you can run and get him open. He's not scheming him open.
Liam Cohen's offense is not designed for Mike Evans. It's designed for Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, Puka Nacua.
I get that. But what happens? I mean, this is Mike Evans, man. He's clearly our best wide receiver. You ain't got to go downfield with him. Get him something short. Medium. Short to medium.
Cohen's offense is screen heavy. It's not Mike Evans down the field heavy. It's screen heavy. Yeah.
Okay, but I'm saying it ain't gotta be 20, 30 yards downfield. It can be something medium. Just get this man active. Once he shuts down and start feeling like his body language changes, you got to get him some touches. I don't care if it's a 5-10 yard slant.
Yeah, but that's not. But we've seen Mike Evans in the 0 to 10 area. That's not his game, man.
It's better than Sterling Shepard.
It's not
Liam
about
Cohen
him
knows
being
that.
in his
It's
Like,
team.
better than Sterling Shepard.
Mike Evans had a catch yesterday that was like a 5-yard like hitch or something. He couldn't. Where he was going with that.
It's better than Sterling Shepard.
Right, that is true.
Exactly. And Trey Palmer, don't forget.
The hell we doing with? And y'all can say what y'all want about Trey. They don't scheme nothing up even for his speed. Okay, you got a 4-2 guy. I want to see more screens to him too. I mean, he don't utilize his players. He gets stuck on a couple players, and he just. For the life of me, I don't know what this Sterling Shepard stuff is, man. Why are
It's an Oklahoma reunion. Him and Baker.
Man, I don't care, man. This
Bro,
dude
that's what it is. That's all it is.
And you said it earlier. I said it a couple weeks ago. He's the Nacho of the offense. That's what this dude is. He make a play and then he act like he did something. Then he come out and didn't set his feet on a play. So we
illegal formation.
Illegal formations or bad chop block or he had 2 drops that hit him dead in his stomach yesterday.
Nacho,
bro,
man.
you in the league for 10 years. You still don't know how to get information, bro.
Man, the ball hit him twice. He dropped. Y'all keep talking about the 4th down. He dropped the crucial 3rd down too. Okay, granted it got tipped, but it hit you dead in your damn chest. This dude is garbage, man. I don't want to see no more Sterling Shepard. Like Bucko said, he is literally taking snaps away from players. Let me see some more Miller. Let me see some more Rakim Jarrett.
Right.
Because when they get in the game, they make plays.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of, they might have 2, 3 targets, but they catching their balls.
Exactly.
There's somebody. A-Rod said. Levante David covering that slot guy. He said Vita dropping in coverage. Todd Bowles special, boy.
Like, hey, Vita dropped in coverage and laid the hat. He saved that play. I can't take nothing from Vita. He do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, Cooper Rushing.
The problem is we, instead of having 3 defensive linemen, we got 2. I don't care about these little sacks that UFO been getting the last couple weeks. So what? So what? He garbage. He garbage, man. He rarely seen. I'm tired of UFO. Get him up out of here too. He's on my list.
He said UFO.
He is. He's rarely seen. He'll pop up once a game. And it's usually off of somebody else might have missed the tackle or something, and there he is to clean it up. But he ain't, man. Oh, that was a blown pick. He'll never want to talk about that. Him, JTS. I'm sorry. I'm get away from these light-skinned dudes, man. They pretty boys. They soft. Go get me some dogs. I keep saying it. I've been saying it for 2 years. Where the dogs at?
Jason, like, the problem with him drafting these dudes from these small schools.
These pretty boys.
These small schools, he keep drafting them from D3.
Yeah, I ain't even finna go off into that. I pointed that out 2-3 years ago. When I had Bucko, I said, list off of where these players are from. I'll never forget it. I was at work. I went in the bathroom to say that.
They're not
I was like, no, I got to talk about it because these guys, I'm tired of him trying to be the smartest guy in the room and get these small-time players. This logic, man, Big Ten, SEC. Let's stick with that.
Exactly.
We keep passing up good players for these sneaky players that he's
they put a list of
driving me nuts, man.
They put a list of how many they put a list up of all the top colleges that got the guys in the NFL, and Washington was in the top 20 at 33, but the rest of them was like it was Big Ten, SEC, and a couple ACC. That's
how it always is, bro. And think about it. How many Washington players we didn't got in the past 3-4 years, 5 years?
Washington was the only team outside of the Big Ten, ACC, and SEC that was in the top 20. And the rest of it was like literally with Big Ten, SEC, and a couple of ACC. Like, for real.
It's just that simple, Bucko. We know where the dog's at. Why are you avoiding them? You trying to get these guys? I'm tired of the pretty boy stuff, of the JTSs and the Logan Halls. Anthony Nelson, it's time to go. Pack it up. Pack it up, Greg Gaines. These guys ain't it. What's the other old guy we got this on the D line?
William Golson.
William Golson. Pack it up.
Nah, I think he retired as a Buck. They're gonna let him retire as a Buck.
Well, he needs to walk. It's time for him to pack it up.
Yeah,
you are no factor. Greg Gaines is getting more ticks than you. Anthony Nelson getting more ticks than you. You're just taking up a roster spot. I'd rather see them bring Watts up. They still he ain't his time up on injury reserve, and they won't bring him up. But you're gonna keep Greg Gaines and Will Golston. Man, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? Todd Bowles, man. You right, Bucko. It's him, man. He holding this team back.
Like I said earlier about Deion Jones to the practice squad. It's like, bro, he in the NFL for a reason.
Yeah, why is he there? You went and got him for what? Holding for the golden nugget for the last game? Get out of here, man.
You could have
get that dude in the game.
Any linebacker. He's capable of your defense.
I don't know who's coming out in the draft this year at linebacker, but I don't care. We need to get one. We need to get one.
More than one, bro. More than one.
No, once Servassier comes back, and Russell, we can still work with him a little bit. Britt gotta go. I don't believe him. Ain't this his fifth year coming up?
Even with Servassier Dennis coming back, I think the Bucs linebacker room going into next year is going to be probably bottom 10.
Exactly. That's why I said we got to get one.
We should have got one.
We got to get at least one, and we definitely got to get a corner because I don't believe in paying D no more money either.
But who brought that up? I think it was Big Buck. Luka Decky is up for a contract extension.
He should get it.
Well,
I cannot deny it. That dude has been balling.
What about Chris Godwin?
Yes.
What about Chris Godwin? You got Luka Decky and Chris Godwin contracts are up. What do you do there?
You get them both because without them both, we ain't gonna be nothing.
Yeah, but then that's a lot of money tied up into the offense, and we just sitting here talking about defense, right?
Yeah, but those are just.
I don't think. So, what you think? We need to get somebody in free agency?
We need something.
I don't like no more. I said
we can't run it back. We can't run it back with this defense, bro.
No, we can't run it back. We just gotta draft them. No more mercenaries, man. It never works out. It never pans out for us when we go pay a free agent to come in. It only worked with JPP, and that was like for a year or two.
And Ndamukong Suh, it worked with him.
Yeah, for a year or two. That was it.
Safety, dog. That can stop the run. Antoine and Mike Edwards, they too small, bro. The whole
safety room is too tiny.
They too small. They can
need a Cal Hamilton, a Derwin James type.
Man, yeah, you want to get big corners and little safeties.
Exactly. that makes no sense, bro.
What are you doing, man?
No sense. This is what I'm saying, bro. So I
will give.
Okay, at least one of the safeties got to be big.
Give me a safety about 6'1", 6'2", like Donovan Wilson or Derwin James or Kelvin Joseph, like, and pair him with Winfield Jr. That way, Winfield Jr.
Exactly.
The back.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. We got to at least have one big safety.
That's exactly where I was getting at.
And then the cornerbacks, we need like remember there was a talk like during the draft that the Bucs could get Cooper Dean DeJong. Like, remember it was like that came up like the Bucs could draft Cooper Dean. Like,
they had faith in Dean and Zion. I can understand the Zion thing. I mean, he gonna have his bumps. He had a bad game yesterday, but overall he been pretty good for us.
The Eagles rookie Cooper DeJong, he's been better than Zion and Jamel Dean combined. Not even
Facts.
He's so good that he didn't play the first couple games because they had Slay and Quentin Mitchell out there, and there was talks about the Bucs getting him too. But for whatever reason, the Eagles smart. You know, Howie Roseman got both of them, right? And Cooper didn't start the beginning of the season, but they realized when Slay got hurt and they put Cooper Dean DeJong in that boy, he got in there and it was like, well, damn, he can't sit no more. We got to put him out there. So now
Yeah.
when Darius Slay came back, they put Darius Slay back into the outside, but they had Cooper back into the slot and put Avery Maddox in special teams. They was like, nah, he got to be out there. And this boy don't allow catches. He don't allow no catches. He was guard Cooper Cup. He locking him down.
That's what I'm saying, man. Why can't we get somebody like that, man? Why do they always want to make it so difficult?
I don't know, bro. We had a chance to get Jalen Carter as well, too.
It's KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Stop trying to be the smartest guy in the room and get the most logical person there on your board, man. Okay, this dude was a stud in college. He's not, and he's from the Big Ten, Big SEC. He's probably gonna be a stud in the league.
Did y'all know South Dakota State entire O-line for the championship team is in the NFL? Or North Dakota State. I'm sorry, North Dakota State. Or was it South Dakota State? One of the two. That's the school.
How do y'all feel about Cody Mott? How do y'all feel about him?
He's a
Mott.
He has his
Hey,
moments.
yo, can I get one?
I think Liam has figured out how to use him better. As far as like pulling like a pulling guard, he's a terror once he pull. I give him that. Once he get out there and get the rumbling, that he can make some blocks there, but just like head up blocking, he a little light in the ass, and he be getting dogs sometime, man. I don't know, man. I'm a little more on his side now, but I still, you know how I was about Cody Mott. I don't know, man.
You know the thing about Winfield, I'm gonna go back to Winfield Jr. His style of play is going to get him hurt a lot more. I've been saying that. I'm like, he's a small safety. He plays below the knees.
Yeah, I don't like how he tackles.
He's gonna have more injuries, folks. The Bucs got to get enough next to him.
He don't hit you in the gut. He want to tackle low, and then it turns into helmet getting kicked and
knee to the helmet. Yep.
Knees to the helmet and all that. It's like, man, stop. But I get it because he's so small.
Right.
We're not drafting. I don't know what Ty Bowles is trying to do because the type of players that he's looking for in his defense, he's not like mathematically or just measuring up to the type of players. They don't fit that scheme.
Yeah, like I said this earlier about Ty Bowles' scheme. Maybe if he had better players, but the thing about it with his scheme is you got to be like a high level guy, and the only high level guy is Winfield Jr.
With the Ty
I'm very disappointed in him.
Tyke Smith as well. He's pretty high.
Yeah, Tyke Smith. He's small, but I'm saying Tyke Smith is small.
Yeah.
Small. Good tackler, but he can't guard 6'4" tight end consistently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Bucs need to get some size on that defense across the board. Like D-line, edge rusher.
On that D-line. I'm so sick of Hall, man. I'm sick of that guy, man. He just it's time for him to go.
Look, can I get one in?
Go ahead.
Listen, what I wanted to agree with Sal, and I agree with you too, Buckles, because with the defense, like Ty Bowles' scheme, you got to have the good pass rushers, and you got to get to the quarterback. Because look, I wanted to point out one thing, and I'm going. Did y'all see during the game when they was replaying when they kept doing the stunts when Levante David was blitzing and he was switching with Vita Vea, and the running back kept picking up Levante David, was stuffing him. Yeah. And when you can't get to the quarterback, then you got the corners playing 20 yards down the field, so he getting dunking the hell out of them the whole game, and then it's gonna open up.
Yeah, so it's like they get picked up real easy too, but
it's like you can't, like with Ty Bowles' scheme, the personnel that he got on the D line is not gonna work because they can't.
Exactly. So just imagine.
That's all I want.
So imagine if we had a D tackle opposite of Kalaji Kancey that can win at least 50% of the time. Because Hall ain't his win ratio got to be in the 20s.
I talked about this like weeks ago about the Bucs pass rush win rate. Terrible. He
got to be the worst. He got to be the worst.
Consistently. Nobody on that D line wins consistently.
Well, it's hard to when you
One
beat them because
guy.
they always doubling
We
you.
don't have one guy on that D line that can win consistently.
I think a lot of it is the D line and the secondary is disconnected. When you consistently play 15, 20 yards off the ball, like how are you going to get to the quarterback that way? The quarterback can get the ball out in under 2 seconds. Like,
And that's
if,
what they was doing the whole
We
game.
playing
Cooper
that
Rush was
backwards.
dinking and dunking the whole time.
yeah,
Yeah,
They was
if,
you're
playing.
right about that. Whoever said that about the corners playing, we playing that backwards. If your pass rush and your edges aren't getting there, then you need to be tightening up on your corners.
make the
Yeah.
quarterback hold it for
Bro.
an extra half a
That's the
second.
problem.
Yeah,
They don't trust their
yeah.
speed.
We playing off of them guys like our edge rush is like San Diego's.
Right. Where you could just win with 4 or 5, and somebody's going to beat their man.
Yeah, and then
Like you
they
got
can
to,
jump around or something. Man, them guys ain't
and
winning no. Yeah, man. I don't care, man. Yeah. You got to be better than that, man.
Bro, he
I
not
love
good.
Yaya. I
I
love him.
do too on
He
the
has the
run. As
best
far as
pass
stopping the
return rate.
run,
He has the
he's
best
not
pass
getting
rush
home
win rate.
though.
Y'all heard what I
It's
said?
not,
He has the best pass rush win rate.
and only got
Mhm.
2 sacks,
The almost sack guy. That's what he is.
2.5
Almost.
sacks.
The ball
Bro,
getting
this
out too quick.
this was against second string O linemen, bro.
2.5 sacks.
Second
That's a big
string
number.
O lineman. You should
He
be
has
getting
7 as a rookie.
he should be getting at least 3 to 4 sacks a game. And a second string O lineman. Come on, man.
He ain't got. I'm telling you, whoever coaching them outside linebackers, they're not teaching them any moves. They don't have no
It's,
moves.
bro, it's straight pass, it's straight bully trying to
Yeah,
bully them.
just bull rush.
Bull rush. You're not gonna bully them that way, man. You play
And
right
then
into
Logan Hall with that
that.
little swim move, man.
Hey,
Man,
crawl
See,
up,
even
confuse linemen,
throw
man.
him in the swimming pool.
as good as Kalijah Clancy is, sometimes he gets stuck, and that's
Yeah, he
it.
get washed. He's so little.
When the
He
guard
gets washed out
keeps
of the
putting
play.
him, if his most of his plays is going to be off the first move. Most of his sacks are going to be off the first move, but
Yeah.
outside of that first move, Kalijah Clancy, if he gets locked in with a guard, it's a wrap.
Yeah, and they can hold him too without the ref seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do that a lot on him too. But
And
okay,
he
but
has
that all goes back to the
and
opposite side.
and he has short arms, so he can't extend away from those guards. When they
Mhm.
lock in on him, he's like, that's it.
Would you say he wins 50% of his snaps?
No,
No, he don't.
no.
A cool 27%.
See, we need that guy over there that can get at least 40, at least 40.
He needs to be the thing about Kalijah Clancy, 6 foot, 6'1" 285, 90ish, right? What he needs next to him is a good 5 technique or a good outside pass rusher. That's what he needs.
They don't even.
Yeah, he will be, so crazy about Kalijah Clancy. He will be better at a 4-3 1 gap penetration guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He will be off the charts. I'm trying to tell you. A 4-3 straight up base 4-3 1 gap, not a 2 gap, 1 gap guy. Get up the field. Warren Sapp. Get up the field. Disrupt. But the Bucs ain't got him playing. They ain't playing him like that. They got him at 5 technique, the 0 technique, standing up, running from 5 yards out, try to come on, man.
We got a defensive mastermind, Todd Bowles.
Yeah, Kalijah Clancy, like a linebacker.
Very old school, 3-4.
Like a linebacker. They had Kalijah Clancy walk up to the line and fake blitz and then run back, then walk back up. Get him penetrate, get him up the field.
What's funny is he might be better at outside linebacker than the ones we have.
Arms too short. His arms too short.
Yeah, my whole thing is Todd Bowles.
Okay,
Who are you trying to fool?
How
You're not
good
fooling
is the
anybody.
long arm guys doing?
But the thing about D linemen though, the measurements do matter. O-line and D-line, the measurements do matter. I ain't even gonna hold you on that. That's why they measure the arm, the wingspan, they measure that. As you got short arms and bad feet, you're going to be a guard. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got short arms as a outside pass rusher, they're going to move you down to the line. Why you think guys like small guys like Nick Benito and Chop Robinson is on the outside, but they small? They got long ass arms.
Yep.
They can disconnect from the tackles, and they got a good punch. See, Kalijah, he don't have that in the trenches like that. He got to use his quickness to compensate for his lack of length. That's why I say he would be really, really dominant as a penetrating one gap D tackle. Not a 5 technique, not a 0 tech, just a 4-3.
Well, see that all falls back on the opposite side of him, because if you doubling Vita, that other guy on the other side should be getting something. If we had a guy, just a dog over there, that might win 40% of his snaps or 30-some% of his snaps, we'll be fine. I think the D line would be fine. Probably get another edge rusher that opposite of Yaya, but Logan Hall and JTS gives you nothing. They don't give you anything. They just players. I don't get what they see in them.
And what got me worried too is the effect on Chris Braswell.
Yeah, it's stunting his growth. Because they won't get off of JTS.
He got nobody to look at.
Yeah, nobody to learn from, huh?
No. Who he gonna learn from? Tryon Stoinka?
Good Lord.
Exactly. Like, what are we doing here? You can't learn from that guy. What are he gonna teach you?
The baby face bum.
What are you gonna learn from that guy?
Right, man.
Through that.
That's what I said. They gotta be all defense in the draft, man. They gotta be all defense. I don't care. Get 2 or 3 defensive linemen. If we have to.
Yeah,
get 2 of them.
They got no choice. They're gonna have to. They ain't got no choice but to grab a few guys on that D line in this draft. They got no choice. And you have to. You can't go in with the crap you got now. Where are you going with that? Where are you going with this current D line? Nobody on that D line consistently hear people. Nobody. Vita will give you a spurt here and there.
Yeah, but you got to think, he takes the double team all the time. Why? If we had another threat on that D line that might be able to take up have to take up a double team with, maybe he'll get free. All you got to do is worry about Vita, and the rest of it is just a wash. If Clancy like you said, don't get that first move, Hall ain't gonna give you nothing. They ain't never worried about him. Never. They ain't giving you nothing, man. I'm you know what, Rashad? Hey, man. I don't care how good your blocking is, man. If you ain't holding on to the ball, you shouldn't be on the field.
That is true.
You can't hold on to the ball. You almost cost us last week, and then you cost us this week.
No.
But
give me some Tucker, man. Give me some Tucker.
Watching this game, watching it back, going back to what Sal said earlier, like when the Bucs were down 20-7, it was just confusing. It was like, what? It's like 20-7. Y'all do realize y'all playing for the playoffs, right? Like, what's going on here?
Right.
It didn't make any sense.
At all. At all, man. It was just a bad coach, bad performance all around. They really came out and was flat-footed and got punched in the mouth and didn't really know how to recover from it.
True. That was a piss poor, and it like another one of those 3 quarters where it was like, what are we doing? That's what it felt like to me. Well, a WTF game.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what everybody was saying there. They was just like, wow, we can't believe it. Y'all, Y'all really came out here and laid an egg.
I was like, I was hoping that the Bucs didn't have a WTF game on one, and I was sitting there looking at the schedule. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a clean shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the only game I was worried about was the Chargers game. But I also did mention that we don't.
I think that's what they was thinking too.
But I've always mentioned this though. Even like when I first looked at the schedule, I was like the back end of the schedule, the Chargers. I said the Dallas games because we don't match up well with them. I said this already about Dallas. I said we don't match up well in the trenches with them for whatever reason. And yesterday you saw it. And both sides of the ball, D-line, Dallas O-line was like, y'all little boys out here.
Man. We the second youngest team in the league, so it showed yesterday. It showed.
I don't know, man, but
see how the youngest team is playing. What Green Bay doing right now?
They're winning.
They're the youngest team in the league. That's coaching.
Yep, they're up 7-0 on the Saints. They're gonna beat the Saints.
This coaching. That's all it is, man. I don't like our defensive coach, our defensive coaching staff, and I don't like the head coach anymore. He just don't do it. You don't know. It's like he's out of touch.
And the Bucs don't wake up, boy. Them Panthers and the Saints they're gonna wake up for that game and spoil our lives.
Let me ask you this. I said it in the chat room. I didn't see you answer. But here's the funny thing. It's not even the question for the Falcons to lose the next two games and watch us stumble off into the playoffs for nothing. I can see them losing both them games.
I think the one game that the Panthers game. I don't think the Bucs. They don't. I think but the Panthers game that I'm like.
I feel like that versus Atlanta. That last game against Atlanta.
I was like,
I don't think they're that much better than the Panthers, especially not with changing quarterback so late. I'm not impressed by that Giants game they won. Anybody should beat the Giants. I don't think they're gonna come out real good against Washington. I think Washington gonna beat them, and it's a toss-up between them and that Carolina game.
All I know
I can easily see them losing both games.
The Bucs just gotta win both of their games, man.
Yeah, we definitely need to win both, but it ain't out of the question of them losing both of theirs too.
Just win those two games, go 10-7, and go and just deal with the consequences. That's the best scenario for the Bucs. Just win the two games, man. These are winnable games. Like it's not like the Bucs going, oh my gosh, the Bucs got to play the Chiefs or the these are games that okay, the Bucs should win. You know what I'm saying? But they
should have won last night too.
They 3-4 at home, so it's like
that's what I'm saying.
Two games at home. You can't lose both of them. You can't do that. You can't do it. You can't do it, Tabos. And these type of losses can have a after effect.
Yes.
It can be like they come out flat next week against the Panthers. And Dave Canales is gonna really be like, I'm gonna stick it to him this time. I'm gonna stick it to him. I should have got him the first time, but they got away with it because Chuba Hubbard fumbled. And I'm gonna say that Panthers game was the biggest win of the season.
Yeah, it turned it around. It saved it.
If we lose that game, we're 7-8 right now.
It saved the season.
Save the season, bro. Because I didn't see a scenario if we lost that game, and then of course we lost last night. The Bucs will be 7-8 right now, and the Falcons are 8-7. And all the Falcons will have to do is win one game. One game. Because the pressure is on the Falcons too. Don't get me wrong. But
if they lose that Commanders game, it's gonna be tight.
But the most pressure is on the Bucs because now the Bucs don't have control. See, if you have control, you don't have any pressure. Well, you have pressure, but you get what I'm saying. Like, but the Bucs have the most pressure because now they can't afford to have mistakes. The fumbles and the interception. They can't have none of that these next two games. Because if they have that, They're going to lose one or both of these games, and that's a wrap. Then we're going to see Liam Cohen name get called a lot. So there's pressure on the Bucs just as much as the Falcons too now. It ain't just the Falcons. The Bucs got pressure too, and there's no slip-ups between both teams. No slip-ups.
That's what I'm thinking.
Both teams,
I think it's just as tight for them as it is for us.
if both teams win, the Falcons get in.
I don't think they win next week though.
But we got to win too, because we known to do something where, hey, all we got to do is win and we in. You saw what happened at 08, how we messed that up. All you had to do was win one of your last 4 games. They lost 4 straight. And you lost against non-winning teams. And you lost. I mean, come on, you made Jamarcus Russell look like an all-pro in that game you lost. I mean, so it's not out of the realm, but I mean, it's just, can Todd Bowles have this team prepared and ready to play and play at a high level these next 2 weeks and not, get distracted from what the media is going to be saying, like, oh, look at this scenario and stuff like that. You just got to win, bottom line, like Bucko's been saying.
Why do you think Bowles lays off of the backup quarterback so much? Why don't he blitz them crazy like he blitz everybody else crazy?
But now that go back further than that. Like, it's been like that for decades with us, man. Like, not only him. I mean, shoot, we always see a rookie quarterback.
That's what I'm talking about, Big Buck. I'm talking about just throughout his history. Why does he tend to back off of backups?
I mean, I think it go further than that to me, because I mean, I just don't get it. We play good against Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, and Jaden Daniels. We made him look like a rookie, but yeah, we got like I said, a backup quarterback, and like I said, ain't no knock against Bo Nix, but I watched him at Auburn, and then he leave Auburn to go to Oregon. I'm like, okay, y'all clearly didn't watch his Auburn tape. That dude was garbage. So I'm like, but to see him come and pick us apart, I'm just like, what the hell, Bo? Like, it's always like that. Just like, what is he looking at? Like,
it's too much zone. It's too much zone play, man. When are we gonna man up? Man up. I'm sorry, man up.
I mean, you got Jamel Dean. He want to play press and run. That's what he was built for, and you got him out there playing zone.
10 yards off the ball.
And that ain't his game. I mean, I'm not defending Jamel Dean, but I know just watching him, and when he was coming out, they just say, hey, he a bump and run type corner. Him and Carlton Davis, but you got them playing off in zone. And then they trying to talk to me like, yeah, we can play it off. No, the hell you can't.
No, it's obvious you can't. Y'all getting ate up. You getting ate up.
Oh, yeah, somebody said, we played the Panthers last year. It was a 9. We beat them 9-0. That was a
pathetic game. That was hard to watch. Because what saved that game was Winfield Jr. knocking that getting that touchback when that dude broke that long touchdown run and he fumbled the ball at the goal line. That's what saved the game right there.
Yep.
Another thing, Bucko mentioned it earlier. Baker got to quit playing that hero ball. You got to knock off with the happy feet, and if the play is dead, just throw it away, man.
Yeah, not what really gets me. I mean, I think it was really hurt. I think it was really hurt yesterday that his safety net wasn't there, Cade Otton. I think that really hurt, but it was just like at some point, Baker, you gotta get rid of that ball, or if it's first or second down and you step up in the pocket and you got 5 or 6 yards, go ahead and get it and then just get down. Make second and third down manageable instead of trying to go for the home run ball unless the guy's just that wide open.
Like, we drafted the fastest tight end in the draft, and he ain't got a snap. Go figure. We run a 4.6. Come on, man. Put that good dude in. He can cause some mismatch problems for them linebackers.
We ain't gonna take advantage of it.
We don't take advantage of nothing, man.
Devin Cope in the screen game, that would be something.
Now, you know what? I meant to ask this earlier. On the first, out of all the times to call a screen, why you didn't open up the hurry up offense on the final drop? Why you didn't open up with a screen? Because it was there. That would have been so perfect to start a screen with Rashad White. It was there, the way they lined up and the way they was going to blitz. It would have been perfect to run that.
I don't understand why he even ran that play. We need short, quick passes and get out of bounds. Why are you dropping off? Man, we've been having problems with their D line the whole game, the whole second half. Why are you dropping Baker back for 3, 4, 5 step drops?
Nah, I say
Get the
this.
ball out quick. We play better when we get the ball out quick.
That's what, and then the other thing, what I couldn't figure out when they got why did Palmer feel that ball inside the 10 when they got that block in the back or whatever, what was it called, a blindside block, and got half of it? Like, I was just like, why did you feel that? Like, you were always told, don't never feel the ball inside the 10. Stuff like that, what gets me. Like, dude,
Yeah. Where's Cameron Johnson? Ain't he off IR? Ain't he healthy now?
I have no idea.
Ain't that a name you ain't heard all season?
Nope, I ain't heard it.
What we heard it all through the summer though, didn't we?
Yep.
What? Give these guys some play time, man. I don't want to see no more Sterling Shepherds.
Well, I don't think we got to worry about him no more. I mean, when he dropped that pass across the middle wide open, that immediately told me what kind of game it was going to be.
I swear, I was thinking the same thing, Big Buck.
I said,
here we go.
I said, here come that bullshit, because I said, excuse my language, but I said, this is finna be that kind of game tonight. And I said, this ain't the game. This ain't the game. And then he didn't do it once. He did it twice. He turned around and did it again. I said, dang, if you would have caught the other one, maybe that could have changed the outcome a little bit with the momentum. But, man, dude, he probably still would have been running if he would have caught that ball on that opening drive. He would have still been running.
This dude is, man, he's like he said, he's the best of the worst. And really, I don't even know if he's the best of the worst. He's just bad, man.
I mean, and I know we talked about it earlier.
How cool him and Baker is anymore. I don't care. But
this is what I don't get. Why is it that you're trying to hold on to, like, why you sign Deion Jones and bad as our linebacker player? You mean to tell me you can't elevate him on Sunday?
Give these guys a chance. He don't want. I'm telling you, we got players just sitting there that we can utilize in certain situations, and they're not doing.
You telling me Levante can't point Deion Jones? Hey, you line up right here and just drop. You telling me he can't tell him that?
Come on, man. Right. I'm not buying that stuff. Bowles has said. He need more time to learn. Your defense ain't that complicated, B. Come on, man. You make it seem like you just mad scientist. You're not.
Shit, no, you ain't Dick LeBeau.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. I mean, it's
he is without the LeBeau. That's what he is. Being too loyal to certain players. He's too loyal to his players. That he is. They don't have no fear of losing their job for making mistakes. There's no fear.
How you go with them? But think about this. How you as a player rush for over 150 yards and you don't even get no touches the following week from that point on?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Player of the week.
And that man didn't touch the ball since.
What did we say? You can't put that genie back in the bottle, man. We see what he can do now. Don't put that genie back in the bottle. They hurry up and put him in there and screw the top on.
Because I was just like, you got a 3-headed monster. You can. There's no way you can have you got a 3-headed monster at running back, but you can have a 1-2 punch. One week it'd be White and Tucker, or the next week it'd be Tucker and Bucky or something like that. Like you got to find a way to make that work.
I'm tired of them talking about he can't pass block. Well, then that's on the running backs coach. What are you teaching him?
I mean, nobody can block, but White is just Bucky ain't in.
No, Bucky's too small to do it. He tries, but he's too small. They're gonna run a linebacker will run him over. I've seen it a couple times where he tried to make a play. He's just too small.
Like you got your boy back.
Big guy, man. You breaking up, Buck?
What he
Big Buck.
220?
Who?
Can you hear me
Sean
now?
Tucker. Yeah, Sean Tucker. Yeah, he about
Tucker got some
220.
size on him too.
Yeah, he thick. He ain't no little guy. I don't get it. But why are you
Yeah,
not?
I don't know what they saying.
And
I
he's the
mean,
fastest. He's the biggest and the fastest, and you can't use
that's
him. Man, stop.
what I can't figure out. And then they relegate. Then they take him off kick return and put somebody else back there. Because he was on kick return and then they took him off. I was just like, what? Why are you putting him in the doghouse? What did he do? I mean, I don't know if he half-assed in practice. I don't see that, but ain't nothing that points to it to say that he should be demoted or whatever. But I mean, Bucks being Bucks, I guess.
So what do y'all think is going to go down against the Panthers? Is it going to be another one of those hard-fought victories?
I think that they got a loss. I think that was a back to reality moment for them. I think they'll come out ready to play against the Panthers, but anything can go. I mean, you might have it where they have an opening drive where they get a couple of plays here and there, and then it just stall out on third down because somebody drop a pass, and instead of getting 7, you got to kick a field goal, and that's what keeps the game close. Like, it's just like if you get up early, we got to put them away and stay on it. We just can't, because we get up by 2 possessions, we can't just go to cruise control. Like, that's just something I can never figure out with the Bucs. Like, they just think automatically because they got 2 possession lead that is just cruise control. Like, oh, we don't want the game. And then it's just like the
That's
third
that
quarter,
defensive
everything you was
coach
doing in the first
mentality.
half, can't
That's that
nothing. It's like, damn, y'all don't make no
coaching
adjustments.
mentality. They scared to keep their foot on their necks. Come out and keep destroying them. Make them stop us. Stop us from scoring in. Don't start playing prevent.
I mean, look how they did. That's what, dude. I hate prevent defense because that prevents you from winning the game. I ain't played loose all game. Now you want to play loose and they just boom right down the field.
Man, it's frustrating at times, man. It's like we all see it from the outside looking in, and I can't believe they don't see that. As coaches, come on, man. We in the
And
last
that's
couple
their
weeks of the
job.
season,
That's what
certain players just ain't got it. It's time to try something new.
you ain't got
It's
no
time to give
linebacker.
certain players a shot at it.
I don't want to see Kenny Britt. Now he probably gonna play this week because I know Carolina think they got a rushing attack now with the way what's his name, Chubby or whatever, ran the ball Sunday. So I guess Britt will be in there from a run support standpoint. But I'm just like, hey, line, do not let Carolina defense get a pass rush on Baker. Let him set
I don't
up
know.
and throw.
I think KJ Britt might have lost his position. I think Russell. I think JJ he ain't been the greatest, but he been better than Britt.
Yeah.
He been better than him.
But that ain't
We
saying a
already know
lot
what he
neither. No,
do.
that's hurt everybody that he hit on our team. That's what he do.
Yeah, he known for knocking out all our players.
But I just don't get how you at that level and just you don't know how to drop in the coverage. Like, I get that if the player is more athletic now, but dude, you got to have some kind of athleticism or to drop in this coverage. Like, there's no way I don't get how every time the tight end goes across the middle, what you see the linebacker running like they lost. Like, oh, how did he get across the middle?
It's coaching, man. That's coaching.
I mean,
At this point, that should just be coming on. You shouldn't even have to think about that. They're having to think about certain things that shouldn't be thought about. It should be embedded in your brain by now. We 2 weeks left in the season. This ain't week 2 or 3. What? How is it not sticking with you? That's coaching, man. That's coaching.
I mean, and then that little 5. I don't know about y'all. Do y'all get mad every time y'all see that 5-man front? He show when he finna blitz, like just crowd everybody in, thinking the quarterback gonna cave in and leave the middle of the field wide open. Then you wonder why on 3rd and 12 they get the first down.
I hate that.
I gotta. Okay, you remember when we was playing against the Chargers? How they was putting all them guys up front. Some of them drop out, trying to confuse
Do
Herbert.
that.
We didn't
He
even do
didn't
that this
do that.
game.
You didn't even do it. You just
You
like,
got
okay,
Cooper Rush back there. If you can't confuse him with that, I don't. Why did you go away from that? That was working. Man, Bose is a dummy, man. He dumb, man.
I don't know what he be looking at, man. I really don't.
Yeah, but that's all I can say. Man, that's it. He got to
gotta
go.
wait. What time? You just got to wait till Sunday and hope they play him.
If Atlanta trick off, if we trick off the game and Atlanta trick off 2 and we stumble into the playoffs, I don't care what happens. He still needs to go.
Yeah.
He needs to go. He holding his team back. It's another 9. It'll be another 9-7, 8.
I mean, but we all said what. But we've all said like that's the ceiling. That's his ceiling. 9, 8, 9, maybe 10 wins tops. That's the best that he's gonna do with you. I mean, last year you went.
He needs to get the 10 wins this season. He needs these 2. He should have got there's nowhere in the world, like you said, how we have the lowest record with one of the highest percentages.
That's coaching. I mean,
that's coaching.
I mean, like I said, every game where they trying to hand you the game to win, we push it back and say, no, we don't want it. I mean, I ain't like
that Kansas City game coming back to bite us. That Atlanta team,
that tight end, that man, I never understood that Kansas City game. As soon as you get 1st and goal, you calling a timeout with 30 seconds left. I'm like, dude, keep that timeout in the back pocket. Cause it's like,
go for it on 2 and go for the win on the road, man. Grow some balls.
I would have had more respect for him to go for it instead of playing for overtime. Cause you knew when Kansas City got the ball, they walked right down the field and scored. Like you knew when they got the ball, I say, well, they finna score.
That's it. Well, nice. This game is over. That's exactly what I said. I was like, man, this game over now. He should have went for it. We had the momentum. We scored. Go for the 2. Go for the win.
And then you telling me talking about weather conditions, why they didn't go. I'm like, dude, you know what the play call would be on a 2-point conversion. I'm going to line up, make everybody think I'm finna roll out, sprint out, and throw it back across the field. That play works every time.
Bro, we like a top 5, top 10 team in the red zone. What are you going away from? What you scared of? This team is proven to score in the red zone. We top 5 or something like that. What are you doing? Go for the gut jugular. Don't give them another chance. Don't give them life. Same thing in that Atlanta game in overtime.
Man, don't remind me of that Atlanta game. That shit was so hurtful. It's not even funny. I'll sit there and what it's like when they got the interception. I like all the Atlanta fans thought the game was over, and I was just like, nah, them jokers still got 3 timeouts. And that was when we refused to run the ball. And then it was just like it's like Bucko said earlier. We get penalties for dumb shit at the most pivotal time of the game. We trying to run the clock out, and you damn near you get a holding call, and that knocks you out of field goal range. Then the punter of all people, you gonna punt a touchback, and them dumbass gunners gonna fall for the dude like he gonna really feel that punt, knowing that you should know that's a cardinal rule. You don't feel a punt when it goes inside the 10. And the guy was down there. All you had to do was get behind him and find the ball.
I really think Todd Bowles is just out of touch. He's just out of touch with the game. He out of touch, man. What's that old school song? You out of touch? You out of time?
Yep.
There you go.
I mean, either way, I mean, he's pretty much I I mean, I think regardless what happened, I think he's probably gone.
Yeah. If he don't get 10 wins, I don't see them bringing him back. For what?
I mean, if you
For
get the
what?
10
For
wins, you don't
another
make the
90-day
playoffs.
season?
I mean, you get the 10 wins and bring him back, and you don't make the playoffs. What's the purpose? I mean, but I
Okay,
mean,
well, let's say we make the playoffs. We're gonna get washed first round. So, and see, I don't care about it making the playoff. If you can't get back to the round you got to last year, you should be gone.
yeah. I mean, then you got too much. It's just too much. Like this offseason is just too much. Like you gotta dedicate the entire draft to defense. Even though you got a free agent coming up. I mean, sorry Godwin, but you got to go. We can't pay you. Then you got Luke Gedeke.
I don't really think he going nowhere.
He ain't gonna have a market because he hurt. But is he gonna be willing to sign a 1-year prove it deal?
I think Godwin might stick around. I really do. Especially if you're gonna keep Cohen. Come on, man. He was leading the league in receptions and yards before he went down. He's still like third on our list right now. And they played in like 6 weeks. He's still third in receiving on our team right now. It'd be foolish. He's the heartbeat, the engine of this offense. If you let him go, who gonna replace him? J-Mac ain't ready to do what he does.
J-Mac is not Chris Godwin, but he's just faster.
Chris Godwin is literally our only dog on offense like that, as far as like wide receivers. He's the only dog. He's a dog. He's violent with it. Shit. I ain't taking nothing from Mike, but Mike kind of, comes in and out, and he have his moments, but he ain't. Mike ain't what I can.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. What you saying?
No, I was saying, if Mike don't catch a pass within the first 3 plays, Mike gonna zone out. If he don't catch a pass,
that's what he did yesterday. Because they didn't even throw him a pass. How are you not even trying to scheme him open in the second half? And he had 69 yards. He had about 69 yards, and y'all went away from him because of a double team. Scheme it open. I don't care if you got to keep him up. He trying to act like he ain't a diva, but he is. He a powder. He don't flare up like other diva receivers do. He just kind of pout and zone out.
That's because he light skinned.
Yeah, that's that light skin shit, man. Man, knock it off, Mike.
But I mean, like I said, I'm just curious what they gonna do over the next 2 weeks. Are they really gonna just target him hard just to make him keep that streak alive, or they just gonna try to win? Like that's gonna be. I mean, but he's very important to us winning. Like,
we win when he gets like 100 yards. We usually win.
If they get, I mean, because look how he ate up against Los Angeles, and that was one of the top defenses, and he ate them alive. And I'm just like, y'all let Dallas take him out of his game? I'm like, how? They didn't even had a top corner. That's what made it even worse.
It's unbelievable. I think sometimes Liam, he kind of overthinks things and or just kind of cocky with it at times. He want to go away from what's really gotten us here. We need dump off to the running backs. Why are you trying to go downfield with Sterling Shepard?
He was wide open one play.
He was wide open a couple plays. He just said Sterling ain't what he used to be.
What was he before that? I ain't never heard.
Exactly. He was okay back then, but he was never like that, man. I don't
even remember. Like they say he played with. I didn't watch Oklahoma like that, so I honestly don't remember him.
He had a couple good first years with the Giants. He was okay, but he wasn't like the man. He wasn't nothing you draw up plays for like that. Not at this age. I don't. He got more targets in the first half than probably Mike did.
And he dropped 3 of them, or 2 of them at least. I know that for a fact. Before Mike even got a target.
I'm tired of that, man.
The only reason why
He ain't no secret weapon. He's not sneaking up on nobody doing nothing.
And when he ran that jet, you saw when he ran that jet sweep, then all of a sudden his hamstring went out.
Yeah, you old, bro. You're an old wide receiver. That's what that led to. Good. I was happy to see him go out. Good. Get him out of here. Now put in Miller or Rakim Jarrett.
He always getting hyped up when he do something too.
Offensive nacho. And then ain't doing nothing else impactful the rest of the game.
He in a hurry up offense and trying to get up and celebrate. Now, I like when you watch the film, I'm a coach. I'm about swinging on you just because of that. You wasting valuable time because you want to celebrate.
I really like that. No, man.
Where the dogs at? To call somebody out. We don't have nobody with that mean mentality. We need we like we said, we might need some dysfunctional players with bad attitudes. Because these guys are just too friendly. They're too friendly. I don't really see nobody pushing nobody else to be greater.
I mean,
or to do better.
I mean, because like I said, I got mad. Like they showed Mike Evans doing a jersey swap last night after the game. I was like, dude, ain't no fucking way I'm finna do a jersey swap. And we lost to a team that we ain't got no business losing to. No, we not doing a jersey swap. I'll be like, I'll send you one.
Boy, the Saints, they got to rebuild.
Yeah, they awful. I ain't worried about
what's
that.
The score? What's the score?
21-0.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't worried about that. My biggest concern right now is this Carolina game because they're gonna be tight. They're gonna be tight. They're gonna come out tight because they know they gotta win this game.
And then what make it bad, they flex back the Atlanta game. It don't come on till nighttime. So you gotta play before. Because both was playing at 1.
What game you talking about? Which one?
They flexed out the Atlanta game in Washington. They moved that till 8 because that was actually a 1 o'clock kickoff like us. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's something. I mean, but it made sense because I think it's Miami and somebody. Ain't nobody gonna want to watch that crap. I think it was too sorry. It was 2 teams with losing records playing on Sunday night. So I understood why they
impactful. This game is way more meaningful. Because if the Commanders beat them, that jumps us back up there. But if they beat the Commanders,
we take care of business.
Who the Commanders played that last game of the season?
Dallas. They played Dallas, and Dallas beat them. Dallas has beaten them in Dallas, and they gotta go.
They gotta win out. If they lose to Atlanta, they gotta win that Cowboy game.
But they lost that Cowboys game with fluky stuff though.
So what now?
They lost that Cowboys game when that fluky stuff. I remember Scary Terry caught that touchdown, ran it all the way in, and tied the game.
And then Buddy ran that kick return back for Dallas too. Like he took that little.
That was fluky as hell.
But that goes to show you, us, Washington or Atlanta, none of us can lose both of those games. None of us. Because if Washington lose both of those games, they out.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I was hoping that Philly would have took care of business the other day and beat whatchamacallit,
Commanders.
Beat the Commanders because I've been like, okay, in the city. Yeah, beat the Commanders. Cause I said, because I'm thinking we beat Dallas, that'll put us at a high record, and we tie just in case if we stumbled and they stumbled, we got the head-to-head. That'll put us in over them.
Yeah,
because I mean that's just crazy.
They can't lose both of them games. If they lose both of them games, it automatically puts us in.
But y'all don't think that is crazy that when you no, but it ain't crazy. You look at our record and then who we beat head is crazy. Like we beat 3 of your top teams. 49ers, Denver. I mean, but that's why nobody's taking us seriously. And like you said, as soon as they start,
remember that 49ers game. How much did we lose by in that game? Did they just
We
whoop
lost. They
us?
kicked the fit. The kicker missed 4 kicks, and then no, we lost. What it was, 31-33 or something like that. Because
Oh,
we
it
ended up
was
kicking a
close.
field goal. No, but they set it up. They gave us every opportunity to get the go ahead score, and we couldn't punch it in. And then, like I said, that we get these dumbass penalties at the most pivotal time,
In that
at critical
time.
time of the
Yep.
game. Like we
Yep.
get down there first and goal, you get 2 holding calls and get backed up. Now you gotta kick a field goal. Say,
This team just ain't mentally strong. You breaking up, Big Buck. Yeah, you breaking up, bro. You digitizing bad.
What about now?
I can hear you a little better now. Yeah.
All right. No, I'm just saying, like, we do dumb stuff and they try to give us the game and we just tell them we don't want it. Like, I just never understood that.
I think it comes from being young and just coaching. We ain't got no coaches that really, they don't apply pressure to these guys like that. I don't see anybody like when they do the interviews after the game and stuff. I don't see nobody really mad. Everybody be looking sad. Ain't nobody mad about the loss. I don't see that. I don't see anybody being mad.
I mean, but the only time I really heard somebody just mad in the locker room after a loss, that when I don't know if you watched that total access Bucs total access thing, like when they lost to Carolina back in the day when Buddy jumped offside, he tried to step the that D tackle Chris Baker, he tried to step to him in the locker room or whatever. So that I'm just like, if we can get that after a game, maybe that should have worked out. Have somebody call out stuff. So.
I never see that. I never see nobody call nobody out. I never see none of that. I never see nobody getting mad on the side. That one time Mike Evans did when he yelled at Jamel Dean. He should be yelling at Jamel Dean every week. Every week. Somebody need to be getting in his. He's too happy. And then when they interview him, he always happy and smiling his jokes. And dude, you should be thinking, hey, I'm on thin ice out here right now. He don't
be cut at the end of this season.
Yeah, he don't even have that type of attitude. It's like he don't care. I don't see enough people that actually care on this team.
I mean, he think he's secure. Well, I got my second contract. I'm good. Well, I'm like, you just saw your boy Devin. He was trying to be greedy and didn't get a second contract. And look what he doing now. You want to be like that?
What's the one guy we had? He went up to Detroit before Carlton. Before Carlton.
Yeah, Carlton.
No, before him.
The other dude they drafted in the same draft. That dude from North Carolina.
No, we drafted him. And then he went up there the next year. Or after his contract was up, we didn't sign him back.
The other dude out of Central Michigan.
Murphy Bunting.
Yeah, him. He hurt. He can't stay healthy.
Him and Carlton both hurt up there, huh?
Yeah. Oh, he up there too? I thought he was out there in I thought he went to Kansas City and got put on IR.
Oh, he did? That's where he left Detroit and went to Kansas City, huh?
Oh, I thought he did.
I know he went home when he first left. He was at Detroit.
I thought he went to Tennessee and then went out there to.
Or maybe it was Tennessee. It might have been Tennessee.
So he went to Tennessee for a little bit, and I think he went to the Chargers. Then maybe he got to Detroit, but I just
think about all them DBs we drafted. Him, Carlton, Dean, Stewart.
That's him. That's his name, MJ Stewart.
Stewart, yeah. All them
that draft right there, with like all them DBs that was on the board, that's who you picked. I was just like MJ Stewart, and you have I forgot what that dude name was. He was sitting right there on the board. They didn't even look at him.
Jason Light, man. Him and
I mean, they
Todd
got.
Bowles, I don't know what they be looking at.
I
I don't be
mean,
seeing what they be seeing.
because I mean when they drafted Veal, but they had Derwin. What's his name? Derwin James was sitting right there on the board, but they went and took Veal. I was just like, what the? But then again, I was just like, that was a Mike Smith coach defense, so I was just like, he probably wouldn't have developed well under him anyway. So it probably would have been good they didn't take him.
I think we made our as far as safety goes. I do think we need another big safety.
I mean,
We need,
you got to address linebacker, DN, like you got to address all that this offseason. Like
front
you got to.
seven first and foremost, front seven, and another cornerback. We gotta get a corner though. Dean gotta go. I'm done with him. He
Crazy
made too
thing
much
is
money.
crazy thing is they probably gonna let him finish out that contract. That's the crazy part.
But ain't this his year up, or you got one more?
This is last year. This will be his third year.
I think they got an option to opt out on him.
I mean, they could move on for him, but they'll take a cap hit. But I just think they knowing the Bucs, they'll just take the cheap route and just keep him. They won't move on from him because I mean you're already thin. I mean, I don't like any of the guys behind him besides Zion. The rest of them just like, dude,
What's the
we got.
one guy we lost in like early, like in preseason? Bryce.
Oh, Bryce Hall.
Yeah, we lost him. That's why I'm not a big fan of our free agency. It seems like we get them guys and they don't be about nothing. Outside of JPP and Sue, I ain't been liking what we've been doing in free agency.
I mean, Light ain't
Unless
really
you
hit
want to
on no.
consider, outside of Brady and Grump.
I can't even say that because I mean, let's be honest. Like they could say all these other teams was interested in Brady, but when you go back and look at it as a whole, they probably told him, "Hey, look, we'll sign you, but hey, we still got to take a quarterback this year or next year." And Brady was like, "I ain't giving up the snaps." And then Tampa probably said, "Nah, you can start the whole 2 years you here. We won't take a quarterback."
He hurry up and he ain't even cut us no deal when he left or nothing. He be like, y'all can just give me half of it. I know y'all in salary cap hell. No,
Nah,
give
y'all
me
gonna
my
pay me.
25. Give me my 25 now.
Yeah. Took a
Right
cheap
now.
ass deal and extended it out, and we still had to pay him.
Yeah.
And he had to retire because he looked so bad. He had to retire. You couldn't justify him staying.
I think he kind of gave us a middle finger on the way out too.
Yeah.
I got my ring. I'm done with y'all.
So he just he mad. We didn't repeat. He still hurt by that Rams game.
Yeah,
Everything.
that hurt. That had to take about 5 years off his life.
I mean everything was set up. Brady done did it again. Next thing I know, out of all kicker, Matt Gay made the kick at the end zone where he always missed and made the damn kick. I said, he did some shit.
What's going on? What y'all think about that punter we got?
I couldn't even tell you, bro.
I don't know, man.
What happened to the punter we drafted last year? He just didn't have it mentally anymore.
Punk guy, you remember that guy? The punk. They was calling him the punk guy.
The guy they drafted from
Georgia or something.
Yeah, the guy they drafted from Georgia last year. Like, what was the reason behind cutting him? Besides what he just mentally checked out or something?
I don't know. That's what threw me off too. I'm like, okay, maybe he had just a bad year, but we took him kind of high, man.
Yeah, you took a punter high and then didn't get rid of him. I was just like, wait a minute, why y'all cutting him so quick?
Another head scratcher. Well, I'm gonna get on up out of here, y'all, man. I'll keep listening to y'all in the background.
Oh yeah, I'm about to chop off too, man. Y'all boys take it easy.
All right, peace.
Close this on out. All right, gentlemen. Well, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, I appreciate the feedback on the game, and we're gonna see what happens next. With that being said, the Bucs are 8-7, tied with the Falcons, but the Falcons are division leaders right now because of the tiebreaker. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on the channel. With that being said, fire these cannons, seize the day, raise the flag. Hashtag Bulls defense. Hashtag what are we doing? Hashtag why? Hashtag what is this? Hashtag facts over feelings. Hashtag possibility over probability. There's always a possibility, but I prefer probability. Hashtag oh you negative. Hashtag get it together. Hashtag what does your eyes tell you? Hashtag go Bucs. I'll see y'all this weekend. BucosLocker signing out.